And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. Thank you all for joining. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, and I definitely appreciate y'all for that. There's a whole lot of stuff going on related to the virus. We all know what time it is at this particular point in time. Or do we? People getting mad, talking about, you can't call it the China virus, that's racist. Trump talking about it could roll out some kind of disaster relief. People want to call it Andrew Yang's UBI. It is far from that. It's one thing when a town gets destroyed by a disaster, whether man-made or an act of God, and then the government steps in and provides relief. It's something else when somebody says, hey, here's a handful of money, spend it on whatever you want to spend it on, and I give it to you every month just for no reason, just for being an American. Here's some money. It's a much different type of thing that we're talking about here. Although I'm not necessarily a fan of it, I think we need to get back to work, really, because, okay, we're going to quarantine for how long? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 4 months, 5 months? How long are we going to not go out in society and work? How long are we not going to go out there and pay bills? How many businesses must fail? How high must the unemployment rate get? This could be even worse than the virus itself. If people are not able to make money at all, if they're not able to work. We'll talk about a lot of different things relating to the virus and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all again for being here. Most certainly appreciate you. Please like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. If you're listening on an audio streaming platform, welcome. And share this however you can. If you're listening to it on iTunes, Anchor, SoundCloud, Stitcher, what else? Spotify, Cashbox, wherever you are. I just want to thank you for listening and thank you for watching on YouTube live or on the repeat. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know you guys have all been pretty much consumed with it. Even if you don't want to be consumed with it, it's consumed you because you can't avoid it at this particular point in time. It's pretty much everywhere. And it's really crazy. And of course, we're talking about the virus. This thing has consumed life. It's consumed life. It's gotten to the point where it's like out of control. Everything being shut down. You go out on the streets, the traffic is light or non-existent. Restaurants closing down, schools closing down, sports events, everything's closing down. Now, some people are saying just stay home. It's not a big deal. Well, it's easier said than done. See, I'm prepared for this. I have money set aside. If anything were to happen to me, which I'm straight, I'm not affected by this at all. But if I were in a situation where I had to not make any money for a while, I'd be okay. Now, I wouldn't want to just dip into my savings, but I'd be okay. But some people don't have the luxury I have. They go out here and they work hard every day for what they spend on themselves, on their families, on their loved ones and whatnot. So they can't afford to just stay home and not work. Okay. So it's like, at what point do we go back to reality? This virus, they say it's contagious, it's highly deadly, but how deadly is it? What is the death rate? What is the survival rate? They want to say, 3%. I'm seeing all kind of numbers. I'm seeing 1%, 2%, 3%, 10%. Nobody really knows what's going on. The survival rate is wavering all over the place, but people are saying that it's super high, and therefore we can't go outside anymore as a result. Now, I want to know when the quarantine thing is going to be over with. They're talking about 2 weeks. I mean, why 2 weeks? Why is that the magic number? Is it going to get warmer a little bit? And I mean, why is that the magic number? I think we need to just get back to work as soon as possible, like today, because the damage is being done. I mean, it's crazy. The stock market, all the gains from the past 3.5 years of Trump's presidency are gone. All of it gone. And it happened kind of overnight. Like it happened like within the week. Everything just gone in the blink of an eye, snap of a finger, over with. The airline industry, talking about you need to bail out $50 billion. People losing their jobs. I put something on Twitter and I asked people, have you lost your job as a result of the virus? People were saying, yes, I've lost my job, or I had my hours cut. I was furloughed. I mean, all kind of responses from all over the country. They're talking about the unemployment rate could go from, I think, was it like 3 to 4% last I checked, to 20%. Man, the jobs numbers for next month are going to be horrendous. Or the month after that, it's going to be horrendous. How can you create jobs in this environment, let alone maintain what you already have? You're going to have a negative job growth, and that's a shame. So luckily where I live at, there's no mandatory curfew or nothing crazy like that. They're just encouraging that you don't be in large groups, and they're saying the restaurants just do takeout only and don't have anybody just sit in the dining room. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you, Bonnie. I'm not changing my vote. Don't get it twisted. I'm not changing my vote at all because, I mean, I'm going to keep doing what I do. I'm going to keep my routine as much as I can, and I'm going to vote for who I was going to vote for. Can you imagine if it were a Hillary Clinton right here, right now, rather than Trump? First of all, the reason why we had a big cushion in the stock market is because of Trump. When he came in, everything just went up. When Obama was in, like as soon as Obama became the president, everything just went down, and it stayed down for a long time while he was the president. It never really went back up. But when Trump came in, things went back up automatically, and they have gone up exponentially as he's been in office. It wasn't a one-time thing. It wasn't a one-time phenomenon. It's been the consistent pattern of employment gains, of money into the economy, of all those good things because of deregulation and things that make sense when you're talking about economics, okay? All those things have happened under Trump, but now you have this, I don't know if it's bioterrorism, if it's an overreaction, just a really buck wild flu-like thing. I'm not really sure what to call it, but regardless of what, that thing has come along and wiped away all those gains. But can you imagine if Hillary Clinton were the one that were in office right now? First of all, it'd be no cushion, and oh man, I can't even, the world would be in a much different place. And I'm not saying that for the positive. It'd be most certainly for the negative. I mean, you're talking about bread lines, like that's kind of a thing, kind of a colloquialism. Oh, bread line burning, this, that, and the third, but it'd be some bread lines for real. I mean, you already got kind of like bread lines going on right now because people going to the supermarket and hoarding up everything. They're hoarding up the dumbest things in the world. Why would you buy bread and milk at a time like this? It makes no sense. You need things that are going to last you for a certain period of time, okay? Because the reason why you go into the store and buying a bunch of things is because you think you might not be able to go to the store next week and get anything to eat. You know, there's no food shortage. Truck's still going to be able to come and deliver things, but in your mind, you're thinking, I can't get this no more. If I go to the store next week, I won't be able to buy anything, so I'm going to get some stuff right now. I won't be able to leave my house for an extended period of time, so I'm going to get some stuff right now. But you're getting the wrong thing. Why would you be getting bread and milk? But I digress. The whole point is that you can still go to the store, get what you need. If Hillary Clinton were in office, the bread line would be real. The stores, I mean, I shudder to think what the result of a Hillary Clinton in office could be. So I'm glad we got Trump regardless of what. Now, the question is, how are we going to go about this going forward? What's been proposed is this, they want to call it UBI. It's not UBI. I'm going to get into that right quick because I'm getting kind of triggered when I hear people talking about UBI. It's not that. And thank you to everybody that's here. I definitely appreciate you. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. Share the video as well. If you're listening on the audio streaming platform, do what you can over there. Review it. Give me 5 stars, the thumbs up, whatever you can. But anyway, people saying that it's the equivalent to Andrew Yang's UBI. Andrew Yang. Oh, I'm going to talk about that, Jericho. What's going on with you, Jericho Green? Super chat for him says, on a lighter note, Gillum loves meth. That whole thing was crazy. We're going to get into that 100%. That guy is a total nut. But anyway, this whole thing is really just wrecking the whole world. And I wish that it wouldn't be like that. Yes, I am triggered, Southeast Dusty. I am triggered. People talking about Andrew Yang and UBI. Look, Andrew Yang wants to give every American adult that's not on welfare, but that's a different story. I'll move on. That's not on welfare, $1,000 per month in perpetuity, meaning forever. Like $1,000 per month, every month, not just one time or 2 times, but 12 times a year, every year. How much is that going to cost? For one check to 100 million American adults, which is not even half of all adults. This is just a conservative number I'm throwing out there. For one check of $1,000 per month to 100 million Americans, you're talking about $100 billion. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below. That's just for one check of $1,000 to 100 million Americans, $100 billion. So if you take that same 100 million people and that same $100 billion for the $1,000 payment once, multiply that times 12, you're talking about 1.2 trillion every year. Okay, the $100 billion is already too much. That's already a dumb amount of spending. I understand why it's needed right now because of economic problems due to this bioterrorism, allegedly, virus that has hit us. I understand, but so that's a very high number, 100 billion. But then you're going to do that every month just because, not because of economic downturn, not because of an emergency. Because here's the thing about that. When you have disaster relief, it's money given to a place when a hurricane hits or tornado hits, massive flooding, snowstorms, whatever it is. That's for that purpose, to clean up that particular event. You know how they say, save money for a rainy day? A rainy day is not every day. A rainy day is occasionally. That's like having a bunch of money stacked up and you always spend it every month. It defeats the purpose. You spend the money when you need it, when there's a actual problem, not when you just want to have money. You know, if you give me that kind of money per month, I have no real need for it. I'll take it if I have it, but I'd rather you not do that because you're just damaging the United States. You're damaging the country. You're putting us further into debt. The debt is already crazy high. And the things that people like Andrew Yang are proposing won't help in that end to fix it. Same thing with Bernie Sanders talking about Medicare for all, government pay for your health care, government pay for your housing, your food, your clothing, the whole 9 yards. Okay, Andrew Yang same way. I'm not a big fan of the $1,000. And matter of fact, it's going to be 2 payments. So they're talking about sending one payment to Americans at the beginning of April and then one in mid-May, both for $1,000, or it'd be tiered depending upon your family size. So if you got a bunch of kids running around their house, a bunch of rugrats and whatnot, but you probably would get more than if you're single like me, like single, unmarried. You understand what I'm saying? Not single as in single, but different story. Anyway, you probably would get more because it'd be on the tiered scale, I suppose. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. And it may also be by income. And if they're talking about millionaires, people that got a bunch of money won't get it, which makes sense. They don't really necessarily need it. But anyway, no, it's not UBI. Stop talking about UBI and Andrew Yang. It's not that. People said, oh, no, it's UBI accepted. It's a far cry from it. Anybody that want to call me on that a little bit later, I'll be more than glad to debate you on it because I've been debating this online and I'm itching to have somebody call in and debate me on it. But I'll move on. Thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, my thing is, if you had a job or have a job that has been disrupted where you're making like $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 grand a month, $1,000 or $2,000 might be okay, but how much is that really? And then if the money you get is determined by your income, you probably would get less, although you really need more because you have higher monthly expenses when you have a higher amount of money that you make. You understand? Like if you have a job where you're getting like 10 grand a month, you might have a wife, 5 kids. You may be the sole breadwinner. You got kids in college or in private school. You have a nice house. You got cars. You have a certain lifestyle you got to upkeep. And it's not even a matter of vanity. It's a matter of you work hard, you earn the money, you can spend it how you like. And the government come along and say, no, you can't make any more money because you got to stay home under quarantine. If you try to open up your business, we're going to arrest you. I mean, how is it fair to you to be forced to not make money that you go out here and work hard to earn? You see, I'm really triggered about that. I'm super, super triggered, but it is what it is. People saying they lost their jobs. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot. People saying that their jobs have been lost. We got to get back to work. You know, halting taxes is way better. It says not gay, but $20 is $20. Yeah, halting taxes is better. I think Rand Paul on Twitter said that we should postpone the tax deadline from April 15th to July 15th. I think that's a great idea. That's an excellent idea. Matter of fact, how about cancel it altogether? I know they ain't gonna do that, but wishful thinking, right? Cancel it altogether. That'd be nice, but at least postpone it, because especially if you're gonna owe money right now, I know I got to pay, and I got money set aside for it. But like I said, if I didn't have money set aside, if I were not able to make money, I'd be out back. You talking about you got to pay, the IRS consistently. It's talking about putting lien in your property. I mean, it's just too much going on. I think Trump has suspended the payroll tax for the duration of the year. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But that's a good thing. Get some of this tax burden off of our backs, because the money that we have to spend in the meantime to keep the business afloat while there's no business coming in is going to eat all that tax money up. And rather than trying to give everybody money that you are going to just run out the deficit to give, let us keep more of our own money so we will be able to weather the storm. To me, that just kind of makes sense. Keep more of your own money, weather the storm, and we'll also give you assistance in this particular time. Now, people are saying, will it make or break Trump for the elections? I think that this time, what he's doing right now is bipartisan. A lot of Democrats are liking this. A lot of Democrats are thinking that he's using the Andrew Yang approach. I disagree, and I'm not a fan, but a lot of Democrats think that way. So they may be with it. I'm seeing memes on Twitter, black folks talking about, Trump talking about sending us money, and then they have pictures of us, people in black folks in MAGA hats, like they'll support Trump for this. All of a sudden, people are saying, Trump ain't racist no more. He's giving out money. So, I don't want to look like he's taking advantage of the opportunity. He's just doing what has to be done for the American people. But I think that he'll be able to gain a lot from this because of how he's handling it. The media are going to be the media. I'm seeing Yamiche Alcindor arguing with Kellyanne Conway, talking about who called it the Wu flu in the White House, this, that, and the third. Dumb stuff, retarded stuff. Nobody cares about that. We're just trying to get back to work and take care of our kids and the whole 9 yards. We're not worried about Wu flu, China flu, Wuhan virus, none of the other stuff, none of the other crap that means nothing. If this were a time where things were going good and everybody's just, whistling Dixie and the whole 9 yards, we may care about a silly thing like that because it's drama. Things are kind of slow. It's not a whole lot going on. So you may care about the petty drama that people like Yamiche Alcindor, a mercenary leftist lunatic, is out here promoting on the airwaves, to keep her career afloat. They may care about that. But if you are, like I said, just trying to make things happen and pay your bills and eat food every day, you don't care about that. You're more worried about how you're going to pay your bills and eat food. How's the president going to handle the particular crisis? And if you have any loved ones that may come in contact with the virus, you want to make sure that they are going to be healthy. You want to make sure that they're going to be safe. You're not worried about the drama or the BS. That's just pretty much what it is. Yeah, talking about China virus is racist. My man, I forget who said this. It may have been, who was this? I think it was Tom Cotton. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this video right quick. I think this is Tom Cotton. Yes, it is Tom Cotton, a senator. And I think somebody's asking him about the Wu flu or the China virus, is that and the third. His response is what I've been saying throughout the entirety of the whole situation. Check it out.
Are you on board with the president calling this China virus, Chinese virus? Does it seem like that's helpful right now to call it that?
That's where it came from.
But is it helpful? It alienates people. It sort of sends tones like that there's someone to blame, that there is a group of people to blame.
Well, I think China is to blame because the culture where people eat bats and snakes and dogs and things like that, these viruses are transmitted from the animal to the people, and that's why China has been the source of a lot of these viruses like SARS, like MERS, the swine flu, and now the coronavirus. So I think they have a fundamental problem, and I don't object to geographically identifying where it's coming from.
Because then it's connected to Asian Americans. The Asian Americans are feeling like it is a racist thing.
Oh, I disagree. I don't think we're not talking about Asians. We're talking about China, where these viruses emanate from and which are created this pandemic.
Simple, easy, simple. He's like, look, it's not about anybody that's Asian. It's about where the virus is coming from. It's coming from China. It's something with the culture and something with the animals there. And you mix it together, you have a bad combination. And throughout history, there have been plenty of viruses that have come from China. The Spanish flu, although it says Spanish, it probably came from China. I think Spain was just allowing the media to report on it at the time, and they were one of the few nations that were able. I think they were the only place that allowed the media to report on it there. So it was dubbed the Spanish flu, although it probably came from China. The Russian flu, the bird flu, SARS, MERS, not MERS, but definitely SARS, the original plague, the plague of Justinian, all these diseases, plagues, viruses all throughout history that have caused massive death have come from China. It's simple. With the plague, it came on rats on the Silk Road. Now they're trying to reinvent the Silk Road. I mean, we can see what's going to happen with that. Bill Gates predicted it, talking about, there could be another outbreak of a disease that comes from China, and then we got to be able to deal with it. It's a documentary coming out. I think the documentary just came out on Netflix. I'm not sure of the exact release date, but it's on Netflix, and it might be kind of a recent thing. It may have just come out. People are saying that, he knew what was going to happen. He was in on it. Well, maybe he was in on something that's going on in China. That's possible. But at the same time, it's not hard to predict that there's going to be some kind of contagion coming from China, because there always is. This has been correct all throughout history. For hundreds of years throughout history, there's always been these plagues and diseases, viruses, whatever you want to call them, that come from China. It's not about, if you're ethnically Chinese living in America, that you're somehow a carrier of it. No, it's about what happens in mainland China. The government, maybe you should just ban some of these wet markets when you got bats and rats and cats and dogs all mixed together, creating some kind of crazy, ridiculous virus that we can't really even deal with. And then on top of that, you have this research lab with viruses in it right there next to the wet markets. I mean, it's feasible that you had something leak from the lab mixed with a disease that was already out there from the wet markets and create a monster bug that we're dealing with right now. Who knows? But all of that mixed together has been a problem all throughout history. It's nothing new. People saying that it's man-made. I mean, I don't know nothing about that, but it's not outside of possibility to have it be a natural thing that occurs the same as it always has occurred all throughout history. This is just a basic thing that we all know to be the truth. Simple. But thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate y'all. You guys have been great. Yeah, exactly, Charles Kane. It's not the Chinese people. It's a corrupt Chinese government. Very simple. Hey, I'm on it, William. I'm on it tonight because I'm through with China. I'm through with the media talking about this is racist and all this and that. People are asking about who said the Wu flu. I mean, nobody cares about that. We're more worried about trying to get this money, trying to get back to work, and trying not to get sick. That is all that is going on. Anything else is totally irrelevant. But shout out to everybody that is tuned in so far. And thank you to the super chatters. Snapzilla Gorilla says, ABL, what up? Get your boy Trump. Hey, I think Trump is doing the best that he can in this particular point in time. My only thing would be an issue with the cash payments to people, because I want to get back to business. I want to get back to work. Now, I understand where he's coming from, though, because if he says, okay, let's get back to work, everybody, stop with the self-quarantining and stuff like that. If you have any more deaths, or if there's a spike in the deaths, then that's going to be a problem. People are going to say Trump is being irresponsible. He's more worried about money, all this, that, and the third. And it may be bad overall for the country, especially when you're dealing with these governors and whatnot that are trying to buck against what he's saying. Because where I am, Restaurants are not closed. I could pretty much move around like normal. Now, of course, there is less traffic because you can't sit down in the restaurant. You can do takeout, but you can't go inside. A lot of restaurants like Panda Express, you can go inside, get what you want, and just bounce. You can't sit in there and eat. But some places you can't go in anywhere. They're totally closed down. A lot of industry is being closed down. So at a certain point, there's only so much you can do to reverse that, because if Delta, American Airlines, or whatever, if they're being hit because of the American consumer being afraid to fly, what are you going to do as a president? Force people to fly? So you got to do something to fix it. Although I wish it wouldn't be like this right now. I want everybody to get back to work and back to business, but people are going to be afraid because they don't want to catch the virus and they don't want to pass it to anybody else. But hey, it is what it is. Shout out to Charles Hunter Jr., who says, keep it up. Hey, will do. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Jessica Dunman, who says, when do you think Bernie will finally drop out of the race? He'll drop out soon. I thought he dropped out today, but what he did was suspend Facebook ads. So it'll be sooner than later. He'll drop out pretty quickly here. I'm just not sure of the exact day and time, but it'll be soon because he got smashed again during the primaries. What was it, yesterday? Even though you had some cancellation, people said that, they should have canceled all the primaries. It's unfair, all this, that, and the third. But, I mean, the reality is that I think people that were afraid to go to the polls and vote were probably elderly people because they're going to be the ones at higher risk of catching the virus. So if there was any disruption in the voting, it probably worked in Bernie's favor because the older generation votes more for Biden and the young folks vote more for Bernie. So either way it goes, it doesn't matter. He should go ahead and drop out because even if there was no virus, he still would have done the same exact numbers or very close to it last night. But thank you for the donation. Shout out to that male Bai who says this is like martial law light, the pilot version. Yeah, it's getting like that. I'm seeing videos from New Orleans where the police went on the street. I don't know what street that was, but, there's a lot of partying going on and whatnot. Could have been Beale Street. I don't know. I ain't going to just say it. But the police came down the street with their sirens on, loud, trying to disperse the crowds, trying to tell everybody to go home. I never seen anything like that before. I've seen crowd control where the police come and say, hey, you got to go home. Being from Virginia, like by the beach, Virginia Beach, like on the 4th of July, when, the crowds got to go home, what they'll do is they turn on like light jazz music from the speakers. Like you have street lights, and on the street lights or the lamp posts, you have speakers. They'll play light jazz music pretty loud. And then they'll have police on horses come through and tell everybody they got to disperse. But to have the cars like down the street, I never seen that before in my life. And that's kind of like the martial law type thing. You can't leave your house. You got to be under quarantine. The most extreme cases in San Francisco, not surprisingly, because when you're talking about California, the communism thing is in the air. They're saying you can't leave your house at all only for a couple of reasons. If you have a doctor's appointment or you are a police officer, medical staff, or you got to go to a hospital or a doctor's appointment or something like that. Only for emergencies can you leave your house. Now that's crazy. I'll refuse to do something like that. Now, my question would be, if you were caught outside not obeying these rules, what happens? Do you get locked up? Do you get arrested for what? For just being outside during the quarantine time? It's crazy. Let me see. Shout out to TNN Raw and Van Trez, who says, how was saying the virus came from China racist now? Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the point of origin. That's where it came from. It's a fact. It is a fact. That's like saying pizza came from Italy is racist. No, it's not racist. That's like saying any particular thing came from somewhere and you pointed out that's somehow being racist. It's not. But the media, they don't take a day off. Like I said in previous videos, you would think they want to just not play the game right now. But to them, the game is always the game. They don't care what's going on. Your grandma could be dead. The, all of the whole country could be on shutdown, lockdown. People could be losing their shirt. They could be homeless. They don't care nothing about that. The game is the game to them. So they're going to always play this game of trying to attack the right, trying to attack the president, and trying to attack anybody that has a different point of view than them. So they'll say this whole thing is racist, although it's not. And it's funny because the media itself was calling this thing the Wuhan virus or the China virus in the early stages of it. CNN, you got tweets from them. You got tweet receipts of them calling this whole thing the China virus or the Wuhan virus, the Wuhan Coronavirus. The same thing that they said back then is now all of a sudden racist. It doesn't make any sense. Then they want to say COVID-19. Where does that come from? Why can't I just say the China virus? You know what I'm talking about at that particular point. There's no need for me to spell it out for you. Anyway, shout out to Will Redding, who says toilet paper is racist, all rolled up in his whiteness. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you for your donation. Thank you to Nippon, who says, hope I can get on tonight, ABL. A lot to talk about regarding the virus. Alrighty, thank you for the donation. Thank you to Colette, who says, I work paycheck to paycheck. I work contract. If I don't work, I don't get paid. How are we going to pay rent? This panic is ridiculous. I need to work, period. I'm right there with you. I wholeheartedly agree. I understand because I've been there. For a long time, I'm self-employed. I don't have benefits. I don't have paid time off. I don't have a salary. My income is based upon what I do. If I'm not able to do things because the government says I can't do it, then what am I supposed to do here? I've been working for a long time. I have skills. All of a sudden, I can't do that anymore. It's unfair. It's ridiculous. And the reason why I work for myself is because I don't want to be in a situation where I get fired and I can't make any more money because of what a person said that I can't do for any particular point in time. I make my own money. I got my own business. I got contracts going on. I want to be able to make it. I want to be able to be free, but I can't because of the hysteria going on right now. It's ridiculous, and I want it to come to an end soon. But thank you for that donation, and I'm right there with you, Colette, 100%. Thank you to AHC for the donation, who says this will now go on the next 2 years. In the next 90 days, 3 million Americans will die in a very nasty way. Trust me, help yourself and your friends. Wow, hopefully we don't have anything like that going on. But thank you for the donation. Shout out to Charles Sumner Jr., who says the governors of California and New York praised Trump, as did Scarborough on MSNBS and somebody on Clinton News Network. Yeah, I saw that. I forget who the woman was on CNN, but she said that Trump is doing good. He's a leader. He's showing strong leadership. He's bipartisan. All the BS is not even really important here. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. See, not everybody's on this whole you got to play the game to play the game thing. Some are going to put the pause on their game because they understand that this whole thing is bigger than the pettiness between CNN and Fox or whatever. This is about the American people. So I'm glad that CNN or some of their employees have that kind of viewpoint. Same thing with Scarborough. Scarborough has flashes of sanity. He'll do that every now and again and then revert back to being a lunatic. But thank you for the donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to AAC, who says, you have to face this as a start of our shared pain. It starts in days and will last for years. Don't listen to them. Protect yourself and the ones you love from death. And now, well, hey, man, I've seen a lot of other pandemics. I've seen, swine flu, H1N1, all kind of things that have happened that have killed many more people than this. So I think we'll be okay. I'm not really worried about it too much. I'm prepared for whatever. What you're saying about being prepared, I'm ready. I got my guns, I got my food, I got my ammo. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock. So I'm not worried about it too much. And if we get to a point where, there's no more society, then at that point, there's no point in worrying anymore. It's about survival or not. But I don't think we're going to get there. I think we'll be able to get through this just fine. But thank you for the donation. Shout out to Brazilian American Patriotic Soldier, who says Japan went through this last year. We'll be okay. Exactly. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate it. Shout out to Arrow Burns March, who says naming Lyme disease after a town in Connecticut is clearly anti-wasp. Exactly. People don't know that Lyme disease is named for a actual place in Connecticut. Lyme, Connecticut, Lyme, Connecticut. It is not based upon a color or fruit or anything like that. It's a place in Connecticut. Simple. Well, thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Claudia Dawkins for your donation. Thank you for that. I most certainly appreciate you. Let me see. Stacy Felice says, when will it be safe to go out again when the Democrats say so? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm here in 2 weeks, but I mean, people are going to go out, I say, by this weekend. It's not going to last long. It can't keep us in the house forever. We can't be cooped up. We got to work. We got to be able to move outside and talk. I mean, we can't just put our lives on hold. And then there's always some kind of contagion or virus. So we could be in the same position next year. And then what are we going to do? Just not go outside and not work for another month or two? We cannot afford to do it. Thank you to everybody that is here so far. If you like what you're hearing, please like the video, share the video, all that good stuff. Shout out to Errol Burns Marsh, who said, stop talking about Chinese corruption. Instead, focus on their high literacy rate. Signed, Bernie from Vermont. Exactly. And the thing about Bernie Sanders talking about, you could point out a good thing that Cuba has done without praising the Cuban regime, talking about the literacy rate, although it was high before that Castro came. And what Castro did was just teach Cubans, what was it? Propaganda, anti-American propaganda and pro-commie propaganda. That's what he did. So the literacy that he was talking about was learning how to read this propaganda book. That's what he did. But he won't say the same thing about Germany post World War II. He won't say that. Okay, post the Holocaust, he won't say that, because let's not forget why they elected Hitler to begin with. They were in a terrible recession. They were flat broke. The economy was in the pits. But after Hitler, not sure exactly how long after Hitler, but not that long after Hitler, the economy turned around. Everything was better. Germany was back on its feet after that. So, I mean, are you going to say that Hitler did a good thing by turning the German economy around? Are you going to say that? I don't think so. So let's not play that game, Bernie Sanders. But anyway, I'll move on. Yeah, I don't think we're going to, I think that the deaths from this particular virus will be on a level of like some of the other things that have happened in our recent history. Maybe not even that much, because I don't remember this wall-to-wall coverage of the flu in 2018 when 80 million Americans, not 80 million, pardon me, 80,000 Americans died. I don't remember that level of coverage, that level of freaking out and trying to shut everything down, because it didn't happen. There was no counter talking about every day there's one more death, two more deaths. It just didn't happen. That wasn't even the case in China. China is getting back to normal now. Their deaths and the new cases are pretty much, halted, and they're going back to regular everyday life. And beyond that, the virus has a very high survival rate. Are you talking about what, like 98%, 99%? It is what it is. But what else we got going on? Oh, speaking of the virus, so Philly police have been instructed to not arrest and or to release those that have been arrested for nonviolent offenses. And what do they call nonviolent offense? Burglary, prostitution, theft, that type of thing. So you can get caught with a stolen car, a whole car stolen, right? You could be driving it, getting high behind the wheel, all this, that, and the third, crash it, whatever. You may get detained on the spot, but what'll happen is you get, like what they call it, like appearance, like a court notice. It's like, okay, come to court in a few months, and then you'll get rearrested and then charged for whatever you're going to charge you for, if you get charged at all. I mean, nobody's going to do that. And what'll happen is, if a person gets caught doing anything, which it probably won't, because if there's going to be less police arresting people, then you'll probably be able to steal and whatnot and get away with it because there will be less police presence that'll be able to catch you. So what'll happen is you have guys that'll travel from other places to engage in the criminal activity. And if they get caught, they just go back home. They'll come to Philly with a fake ID, the whole 9 yards. But like, yeah, my name is Kareem Akbar. I live in South Philly, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, their name is Hank Johnson, and they live in Florida. They get arrested. Here's the fake ID. Boom. They go home to Florida, never to be heard from again. That's going to be how that works. So the crime is going to rise. The murder, all of the crime that stems from the other quote unquote nonviolent crimes will rise. And it's going to be a mess. Talking about the purge for real, which is why I'm glad that people went out and got guns. I was kind of surprised to see even California rushing out to get guns. I thought that California had like no gun stores. I mean, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was surprised to see that. And I'm glad that people are doing that because that's using your brain. That's that big brain stuff right there because you can go out and hoard toilet paper. I don't know what you're going to do with that. You're going to have a toilet paper party? Are you going to eat toilet paper? Are you going to become a mummy? Are you going to play with it? I don't know what you're going to do. But rather than going out there and hoarding toilet paper, people are going out there and getting guns and ammunition. I advise anybody listening to get you a gun if you don't have one. I have 2 guns. I got ammunition, and I'm going to get some more guns. Matter of fact, what I want is a shotgun for the collection to round it out. Get a nice little, balanced arsenal. But anyway, I got my guns, everything I need. If you don't have, I got knives, everything. If you don't have guns, just get one. Go to Walmart, get a little 22 long rifle or something. A 22 pistol, anything is better than nothing. Get you a knife, some bear spray, something if you have nothing, because the thing about it is if things get really hectic and the police aren't really there to protect you as much, well, they can't protect you anyway. I mean, that's one thing to know about the police. They can try to prevent crime by being proactive. They can come after the crime happens. Maybe they could catch a person that does a thing after it's already been done. But in the meantime, you got to protect yourself. And how are you going to do that without any kind of weapons? Without any kind of way to, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter where you live. You can always become somebody that has to defend themselves. So I have a pistol and a rifle. I don't want to say too much, but I have a nice little, pistol and a rifle. That's the main thing. I got my knife, of course, basic knife. You got to have this. A couple of these. I got my bear sprays. I got attack knife. Attack light, pardon me. I got an attack light, small attack light, and the big one. So if the power goes out, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to rock. All right. This one right here, this is just right on my desk. So if I need it, I got it right here. This is always right next to me. Okay. And I got the gun somewhere close by that I can't say where they are. I'm not even a prepper, but I know preppers. My friends at Patriot Post, they're preppers. So I know a lot from reading their website about prepping. And I know a lot of guys that are preppers aside from Patriot Post as well. I know guys that have like grain silos. Like I'm talking about real deal guys that got compounds and bunkers and the whole thing. I just have some basic things just for regular everyday life that you need. You got to have money set aside. You got to have food. You got to have weapons, water, basic stuff. All right. I want a machete. I want a big knife. I want a real big one. These are just little basic knives you keep on you. This ain't really nothing. Okay. Yeah, I keep knives like this in the case to show off. This ain't even really, you know what I mean? That's why I say a bat's good too though. Get your nice little melee weapon. Yeah. Get your nice aluminum bat. Absolutely. All right. But defend yourself. That's all I'm trying to say. Because in Philly, the police are saying that they are not going to arrest or jail any nonviolent offenders. So your property and yourself may be at risk. And that might be the case all over the U.S., not just in Philly. But if you live in Philly, I pray for you. I really do. And please protect yourself however you can. I'm not sure what the laws are in Philly, but my thing is this. If the police are saying we're not going to arrest and or lock up nonviolent offenders, what does that leave you? They got to be able to tell you to defend yourself, because by them saying that, that tells the criminals, hey, I have free reign over here in Philly. I'm going to go out and commit some quote unquote nonviolent crimes, but I will have that gun on me if I need to use it. And then what if you burglarize in a home? All of a sudden, here comes a homeowner. What you got a gun on you? He comes in the crib. You see what I'm saying? Now the incentive was for him to be there to do that, because he thought that if he did not get caught with a homeowner there, he just got caught robbing it in general, then he'd be fine. You see what I'm saying? So protect yourself. Yeah. Will Redding says, bat is good as long as it's not in your soup. Exactly. Yeah, we don't want no bats in the soup. Don't eat the bats. Don't eat any just random wild animals, okay? No bats, rats, cats, dogs, nothing like that. If you're going to eat an animal, make sure it's something that you would normally eat, like a deer, or, and clean it. Don't eat no bat, don't eat no bats. How about that? Very simple. Let me see. But thank y'all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you. Nah, Gigolo Johnny, they said burglary will not be a violent charge. They said that it'd be treated as a nonviolent offense. You would get let go. A violent charge would be if you had a gun or if you assaulted someone in the process of burglarizing. At that point, that's called a home invasion. And that's something different. And, the debate. Did anybody watch the debate on Sunday? Me talking about a Snoozefest. I mean, good grief. That was terrible. That was one of the worst debates in history. That was right up there with, the debate with my man, who was that? Bloomberg. That was excellent. That was great. I enjoyed him being on stage, kind of ruffling some feathers, switching things up. I really enjoyed that. That was a good little change in the pace. But then after everybody pretty much just dropped out and there was no more debating really, then it's like, okay, you got these old men, shaking their fists at clouds. I was sleeping during most of the debate. I was trying to watch it, trying to do my recap video, trying to do my job, right? I just couldn't make it. Like right around 9:30 p.m. Eastern, it was over. I had enough. I just pretty much said, all right, I'm going to throw in the towel and I can't do this no more. It was a wrap. I'm going to get to the calls. Yes, I am bold like a leopard, a.k.a. Ramon. I'm going to get to the calls in a minute. But yeah, there was a debate, clutches, far left. Yes. It was Sunday night on, I think that was CNN. It was going to be in Arizona because the primary was on Tuesday and one of the primaries is in Arizona. But they canceled that because of the virus and moved it to DC. And there was no audience. It was crazy. They were standing like 6 feet apart because that's like, what they call it, social distancing per the CDC recommendations, if I'm not mistaken. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. They were standing so far apart. It was so awkward. It was awkward because of all things going on right now. Because of these guys not really knowing what's going on. These guys were so lost. Bernie called the virus Ebola, and he said it not like by mistake, meaning when you're talking, you might just kind of stumble over your words and say the wrong thing. He said Ebola very calm and matter of fact. He said it twice in the same sentence. So I'm like, do you even know what you're talking about here, sir? Ebola? Is that what's going on right now? No, it's not. That was like, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? That was a while ago. Okay. And then Biden talking about H1N. No, he said M1HAR15 or something crazy. No, I think he said M1H15. It's like you're talking about H1N1. These two knuckleheads are not prepared for anything at all. Bernie should go ahead and drop out, But it doesn't matter. I mean, really, they could join up and be president, vice president. It doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, I heard that your man Joe Biden is talking about Keisha Lance Bottoms to be his VP. Now, if you don't know who she is, she's the current mayor of Atlanta, a black woman. Okay. So his whole thing about putting a black woman on the Supreme Court, he may also put her in there as vice president. So he's trying to get that black vote really strong. He knows that'll give him some kind of edge if he has a black person on with him, and he already has the edge of being Barack Obama's vice president. So that could help him in his mind, and maybe it will, but it won't be enough to overcome the fact that he's like 78, 77 years old. His brain ain't functioning properly, and he's not a very good candidate. And Trump has a very high approval rating, bipartisan approval rating. Even CNN, at least one of their anchors, praised him about this whole virus response. How can you really overcome that as a Joe Biden? There was a video of him recently having some kind of talk. He was giving a talk on stage, and then when he was done, he just kind of stood there and just stared at the camera. Here comes his wife, gives him a kiss, and at that point, he pretty much like, oh, okay, I gotta leave. Basically, he's not all the way there. But yeah, Keisha Lance Bottoms, the current mayor of Atlanta, she may be his VP pick, and that'd be pretty interesting. I think Big Mama's going to be upset about that, and I'm talking about Stacey Abrams, aka M1 Abrams Tank. Don't get offended by that. I'm just joking. But anyway, she may be kind of offended by that because she almost became the governor, and in her mind, she may have won the governorship of Georgia. And rather than selecting her to be his VP pick, he may pick Keisha Lance Bottoms. And I think that might be more for optics, because Keisha Lance Bottoms looks more like a regular person. Stacey Abrams is a little bit too big and burly to be the vice president. It's just not good for looks. That's just the reality of the situation. The same thing I said about most presidents are above 6 foot tall. There's only been 2 presidents below 5'10" since 1900. Okay. So the same thing would apply to women. You can't have Oprah on Color Purple as a vice president. You understand what I'm saying? But I digress. Let's get into the calls. I know that you guys have a lot to say. It's a lot on your mind. I'm going to go ahead and get into it. Normally, I would go for a little bit longer here, but I know there's a whole lot going on. And before I do that, I got super chats I'm going to read right quick, and then I'm going to get into the actual calls. So give me a minute here. Let me see. Shout out to Matt, who says, after 9/11, U.S. flags everywhere, make that viral. I remember that. I remember the whole U.S. flags thing everywhere. People had them on their cars. They had the little flags that you could put on your car, like the actual physical waving flags. And also the flag stickers were everywhere. Very good point. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to AHC, who says, they try to tell you when you can't tell when you first get the COVID-19 for a week, but anyone you breathe on or touch can die. Get it yet? Hey, I don't know, man. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to my man Killer Sushi, who says, Wu-Tang forever, Wuhan never. Shout out to ABL and that crispy blue shirt. Glad everyone is here tonight hanging out in the chat. Heart emoji. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. AHC says, also, anyone who touches you or breathes on you can end your life now, even your loved ones. Still not a problem for you? I've tried. Take care. Hey, man, I'm just not buying into the fear mongering, because what's the point? Even if what you say is true, which I've not seen the evidence for, because look at the survival rate. Even if that's true, what's the point of me worrying about it? What am I going to do about that? I have to still continue to live life. I mean, like, I'm flying the planes all over the country. The plane could crash out the sky. And if you are in a plane crash, you probably won't live. Same thing with a car crash. I know people that have died in a car crash. I know people that have been shot and killed, people that have died in the car crash, the whole 9 yards. But I can't just live my life afraid of that. No, I'd have had a gun in my face on more than one occasion and could have almost got shot and killed myself. But I can't live my life afraid of going outside at night or anything like that. So I choose not to live in fear, because if I live in fear, then I can't live. That's just me, though. Everybody's different. I can't judge. I can't tell you how to live your life, but I'm going to live mine how I'm going to live it. You understand what I'm saying? But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. All righty. Okay, let's get into the calls. You guys have been great tonight. If you like what you're hearing so far, please hit the like button. Share the video as well. If you're listening on an audio streaming platform, what am I on? I'm on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, wherever you're hearing me right now. Please review it. Give me 5 stars. Share it. Do all that good stuff for me. I definitely appreciate you for that. And let's go ahead and start my Skype up. Y'all hang on right quick. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Alrighty. But yeah, I can't tell you that one, October. I can't tell you that one. But I have had a gun on me before. I put that in my book. I might do that in my book. On more than one occasion, I had a gun in my face. Could have almost got shot, killed. I know guys that have been shot and killed, but I didn't. I know guys that have been shot and survived. How about that? You know, I know a guy that got shot right in his chest, almost hit his heart, but he lived. And he said it was by a guy that he knows, that a guy that we all know. But again, I might have to put it in the book because I got people that I know that were involved, and I got to talk to them and see if it's okay for me to put it out there. All right. Skype is still loading up, of course, because it does whatever it wants to do whenever it wants to do it. Let me see. All right. Roger Abel says, can you get a murder charge if you give someone the coronavirus and they die? I don't think so. That's not how that would work, because you got to prove that, because you may not know that you have it and you can't intentionally give it to somebody. Not really. It's different than HIV, because you know that you may be HIV positive. And if you knowingly have it and then have sex with no condom, then that right there, you can say you give it to the person intentionally and you are to blame for whatever happens to them. But that ain't the case with the coronavirus, because it can spread without any kind of intent. But you can't spread AIDS the same way. So nah. Wow. That's crazy. My man WD60 says, same here. 16 gauge and the guy pulled the trigger, gun misfired. Wow. That's crazy. Is Skype not working really? Are you serious? No way. Hold on. Let me just make sure that. Let me make sure that Skype is. Hold on. No, it says no problems with Skype. So it shouldn't be no problems with Skype. I'm gonna make sure that it's working properly. Now, what's the name? Who had it? Tom Hanks and his wife had it, but they recovered. So how'd that happen? If you cannot get the virus and recover, then how did Tom Hanks and his wife recover? Maybe they weren't telling the truth about actually having it to begin with. I'm not really sure. But they said they recovered. So either somebody's lying if you can't get it and recover. And then how about in China? They said they had it and were able to recover. So I'm just not really sure what's going on with that whole situation. Yeah, Skype just wants to do things to me specifically. I think that they're trying to prevent me from saying what I got to say, but they're not going to be able to do it. Yeah, Tom Hanks is still functioning, and I think Idris Elba has it. A lot of NBA players have it. Rudy Gobert. These guys are still living. So either they didn't have it. Like, the thing about Rudy Gobert is that he said he had it, and they canceled the whole NBA season. Well, not canceled it. They put a pause on it, at least for now. So I don't think they're going to go through those extreme measures of putting the whole season on hold if Rudy Gobert did not actually have it. Same thing with Donovan Mitchell and more. This is no different than anything else, in my humble opinion. Any kind of virus that spreads, it's just you got to be able to get it over with, and move on. Yeah. But if it were so deadly, then there'd be more deaths from it. I mean, we're not even in the flu level death yet. We're not even in the bad flu season more for deaths yet. There have been more deaths from the flu this season than anything else. So I don't think that the virus is so deadly to the point where if you get it, you automatically die. That's not what's really going on. And for the most part, I'm seeing people that are like super old getting it. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Magic still has HIV, allegedly. They're saying that he's undetectable, if I'm not mistaken, but he still has it. So I don't know if he got the cure or what. %80 recovery rate. There we go. Skype turns on. All right, let's get to my settings. Wow, Skype is terrible. It took like a whole 3 minutes to boot up, and I have a beast of a system. My system is like this is I can do a lot on this system. Hold on, let me just make sure that I'm straight here. Turn my settings on properly. The number to call is 434-658-1220. We have Skype on now, so we're ready to go ahead and get rocking and rolling. All right, let me just make sure that everything's good over here. All righty, we're good to go. Let's get to Nippin'. What's happening?
I have no idea. I might have to go into 2 weeks of shutdown. Not because I want to, because my parents are the ones who are overreacting.
So how is everything over there in UK with the virus? Are they shutting down bars and schools? What's happening over there?
Well, we've had our Prime Minister come in and say that schools have been closed until further notice.
Okay. Now, how about bars, restaurants, anything like that? Any pubs? How about the pubs?
No, restaurants are still open. I went to one myself last night.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, a few hours ago, but yeah, last night because it's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
So, yeah, that was. So yeah, no school starting Friday, unless you have special needs like autism, or if you can't. You know what I mean, right? You know what autism is.
Yeah, I do.
So yeah. I have no idea why people are overreacting. H1N1 had a higher mortality rate than this.
Your phone is on. Getting a little bit of feedback from that.
Oh no, it's just my Facebook messages. I'm part of a few groups. Let me just put that on.
Yeah, there we go.
Let me just put that on mute.
Oh, it's all good.
There we go. It's not gonna distract us anymore.
Good money.
So yeah, you were really busy on Wednesday.
Yeah, there's a whole lot going on, man. Everybody's calling in. It's busy right now.
So how was your trip to the West Coast?
Oh, it was good. I mean, the airport, I'm not sure how busy LAX is, but it wasn't really that busy. I mean, and Atlanta airport was not busy at all. I mean, I got through I got through TSA in like 10 minutes. It was no line, straight to the gate. It was
Heathrow, one of it's the busiest airport in the world. When I went last, empty.
Wow.
The whole departures area, the whole arrivals area, empty.
Wow.
Just myself in the arrivals hall, and the shopkeepers. Yes, only the shopkeepers in the shop. Like, I only have a few. There were only a few others there.
Wow.
But mind you, it was at 11:45 in the evening.
Right.
But yeah, flights have been cancelled. The major football has been cancelled. You call it soccer in the States. But yeah, that's been not cancelled. That's been suspended. the European Championships for European football soccer teams, that's been cancelled. That's now going to happen next year instead of this summer. So yeah, so much fear-mongering. It's unreal.
Yeah, it's a whole lot going on. It's crazy.
So, yeah. The DNC debate, oh my god, another clown fest.
Yeah, pretty much. It wasn't good at all. I mean, I don't advise anybody to go watch that. It was really terrible, just boring. I think that at this particular point, Bernie should go ahead and drop out because if nothing else, just stop all these debates and let Joe Biden be out there, be front row and center, and let him talk to Trump and have their debates. That's what I want to see. I want to see Trump versus Donald Trump. I don't want to see any more Bernie. I don't want to see none of that. Just go ahead and drop out and support Biden the same way he did in 2016 with Hillary Clinton.
Exactly. But honestly, none of those Democratic candidates are suitable for the presidency. Not even close.
Pretty much.
If someone asked me, which Democratic candidate do you think is most suitable in having a realistic chance to challenge Trump? I would say none of them. Because they're clowns. There's no other way to put it.
Right.
And apparently something like Andrew Gillum, was he like caught in a hotel room with a few lads?
Yeah, he got caught in there with a male prostitute. And the thing about it is, Andrew Gillum is married with kids. I think he has at least about 3 or 4 kids.
God, is he coming out gay?
No, see, what he did was he pretty much just ran away. He went to quote unquote rehab. It's like, all right, sir, you said you were in there drinking. He had a little bit too much to drink and you want to go to rehab now. I think what you're doing is you're trying to hide from the press. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay, maybe he can't hear me. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay, good money. Yeah, but I think he's just trying to hide away from the press because he doesn't want them to ask him any questions about his alternative lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can't cheat. You can't cheat on your wife. I'm sorry, you can have fun, but you can't do that. You can't go in bed with one of those.
I mean, but that's bad enough. But then you over here with drugs too. You got meth. You can't be in there drinking. You can't be in there smoking meth. I mean, you got all kind of stuff wrong. You got prostitution, drug use, all kind of things. It's just all bad.
I get how you feel, man.
100%, man. But hey, I got a lot of calls on the line, so we gotta wrap it up right here.
So yeah, I wanted to say one last thing. Now, the virus, apparently it's racist. Like calling it the Wuhan virus is now apparently racist.
Not racist at all. It's real simple. That's where it came from. Wuhan, China.
Yep. You just say it as it is. It's the Wuhan virus, not the coronavirus.
That's right.
So yeah. Anyway.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Nice speaking to you.
Oh, definitely, man. 100%.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
All right, same to you now.
I shall speak to you on Thursday.
All right, Thursday your time, Wednesday my time. I got you, boss.
Yeah, I'll speak to you then.
All righty, man. Peace.
Peace.
All righty, great call from my man Nippin over there in UK. And thank you all for joining. I most certainly appreciate you guys. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-65. Hold on, I almost got it wrong. 434-658-1220. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, let's go. Wow, the phone lines are blowing up. If I did not get you on yet, I'm sorry, but we're blowing up here. Let's go. 702, you on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, this is the Red Pill Barista.
All righty, man. What's going on?
How are you doing today, Mr. Logan?
Everything is great, man. Can't complain.
Yes, it's like Christmas used to be. Everything's closed up and people are home. Let me tell you something. Here in San Francisco, I'm locked down right now, like prison. I've become an inmate. And the warden, London Breed, is making sure that if you step out of your house without good cause, you get a misdemeanor ticket. But I saw your video about Philadelphia that you made earlier with the police.
Yeah.
And I want to let you know that I don't know if you know anybody in San Francisco, but there's a similar situation going on right now that the news isn't reporting on, and it is dangerous right now. Let me tell you, I live on Pine Street, which is a fairly decent neighborhood. There have been people's cars ripped off. There has been door break-ins, and the police don't even show. They tell you, the dispatcher tells you that that is a non-violent offense. So right now, we have 1 million people in the area living in fear, and there is essentially no police. You go outside at night. I had to get outside, so I went outside and took a walk at night, right? And I'll tell you something, it looks like hell, like a zombie apocalypse. There are homeless people harassing people walking in the street, groping people, throwing them to the floor. I'm not making this up. They're crapping. I'm sorry, I almost cursed there. They're crapping in the streets openly more than ever. And there are squad cars going by, and it looks like the police don't even bother. That's the city of San Francisco right now. And that's what's going to happen in Philly. I know or know associates of people who literally have had crime in the last week, about 7 or 8 people, Mr. Logan, that I know personally, that have crimes committed against them. And nobody is answering. This is not something I'm making up. This is happening right now. Now, of course, the news media won't be publicizing this. They won't be focusing on this. And I'm here to tell you it is happening right now in the streets of San Francisco. And like your video said, it's only a matter of maybe days since it's going to be happening in Philly. You mentioned in your video that people from out of state will come to Philly to commit crimes, correct?
That's right.
Well, I'll tell you something. There's people from Oregon and LA already up in San Francisco breaking into cars. There's already people from Washington State coming down here and shoplifting like there's no tomorrow. And I'm talking food. There has been wilding gangs going right into the supermarkets and walking out with food. And nobody does anything. They stare, and the manager, when I pointed it out to one of the managers of the supermarket near me, she told me it's useless to call the police. If they come, they'll take a report, and it's going to waste my time. That's what's happening in San Francisco right now. I hope people understand this. You said to get your weapons. I'll tell you, I don't like that, really. I don't glamorize the world being Mad Max. It's not that way when the anarchy breaks down. But it is going to happen. And I'm not being bad news. So people who are sitting there going, you're making too much of it, I'm in the middle of it.
Right.
Like they are in Philly. And I wanted to point out something else. Did you see the press conference with Donald Trump when he was announcing the stimulus package, and that reporter, that smug Lois Lane, asked him about the Wuhan virus?
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
You saw that. She is the biggest jackass I have ever seen in my life. He's announcing Navy ships off the coast. He's announcing people losing their jobs. He looks like he hasn't slept in 3 weeks. And that's what she says. Well, I got news for you, Missy. Nobody cares. It came from China. I have people coming up to me, these pink-haired liberals, that are telling me it came from Japan. It came from the United States. They're traitors. They're traitors to their country when they say that it came from the United States. They'd rather believe a communist regime that locks up 1 million Muslims, that experiments on its own people, that didn't report this, and the outbreak now might have been as early as November, and they support that? What is wrong with people nowadays? That reporter, the time of this is over. Now, whether this will pass, and it will pass, but I'll tell you something, there's going to be a lot of economic hurt and pain, and it's not going to go away very fast, because while people are getting $1,000, and they're happy about that, let's face it, this is a bailout package for the airline industry and the hotel industry. And they're not going to share it with their workers, and I'm not a Bernie Sanders here. I'm saying this is the truth. You know that, Mr. Logan, and so do I. Mm-hmm. The hotels are going to get $80 billion, and the worker will get $3,000. No, I'm not saying everybody can get $1 million, but the point is there's going to be a lot of hurt. We literally could go into a depression. And all they say is PCism. Well, I got news to you. Everybody out there who doesn't believe it, it came from China, just like Yao Ming. Have a good evening, Mr. Logan.
Thank you for the call.
Thank you.
All right, my man, Red Paparista, dropping some serious bombs tonight. And I thank y'all for joining the call. Most certainly appreciate you. The lines are blowing up. I'm going to try to get everybody on as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight, please. If you are not able to get in, try again. I'll try to get you on as soon as possible. Let's get to the next call. Right, I call you on the line. 617, who am I speaking to?
Yeah, this is Ivan. Man, wow, those guys on the call, they're going crazy on your call, man. Hey, so are you been following what's wrong with the coronavirus situation? Are you been following up?
You said following what now?
Like following up with the coronavirus, what's going on?
Yes.
Have you been following up?
Yes.
How much you been following up? Like how close you been following up?
I've been watching the news all every day.
Okay, so do you know who is Anthony Fauci is?
Yeah, he is part of the administration. I forget his exact title.
Or is the head of the CDC? Do you hear him in the? Do you listen the hearing that he have in Congress?
In Congress, no.
Okay, I think you should. So I can't really continue talking because you didn't hear it. So it's not.
Okay.
Well, he pretty much dismantled every lie that Trump said.
Okay, so what did he lie about?
Well, he lied that the virus was in content. When he said that he never mentioned that. When Trump said that the virus we're close to a vaccine, he said, I never say that. Never say that. When the testing kit, he said, I never said that everybody could get tested because we didn't have enough tests to perform in pretty much only very limited, like 5,000 people when they started. Trump said the virus will go away in the summer. He never said that. So pretty much everything that Trump said, he said, I never say that. He never say that. So I don't know where Trump's getting his information. Maybe he's getting it for Sean Hannity, but he's not getting it from the experts. That's the problem with him. So now I give him credit to Trump. In the last two press conferences, he's been doing better. It's not good, but he's doing better. It's been more focused in what we need to do because now this is a reality test. This is a real issue. This is not something that people are dying. This is something that we have to take precaution. This is very serious. I don't know you've been seeing what's going on in South Korea and China and Italy. They have rational care in Italy. You know what rational care is?
You said rational care?
Yeah, do you know what it is?
Nah, what's that?
Well, I mean, the doctor will decide who lives and who dies.
Oh, is that been confirmed? Where'd you hear that at?
Well, that's what in Italy, for the Department of...
I mean, my question to you was, where'd you hear that?
The World Health Organization say that. So pretty much a 90-year-old person comes, or an 85-year-old person comes in and have a lot of problems, health issues, because they don't have enough ventilator and machines. So they have to choose which person is going to get the machine because the 90 or 85-year-old person most likely will die with the virus, so they don't want to waste time.
I heard that was false. I heard it was just
true.
Wait, sir. I'm going to talk on my show. Now go over talk me. I heard that was false because The problem is that the system is just being overwhelmed in general, and it may not be enough space for everybody. It's not a matter of picking and choosing. It's a matter of kind of like first come, first serve.
No. Again, I'm going to skip that because you don't know what rational care is. So I'm going to skip that one. So
I mean, you mean rationed? Rational does not mean what you're saying. Rational means like logical. It don't mean like, you mean rationed healthcare?
Rational care. Like somebody comes in, they have to make a decision who should get this service. It's not fair come for first. Who should get it? Because what they're trying to do to save as much life as possible. And if they allow people in their 50s and 60s to die, and they put these people in the 80s.
Yeah, but I heard that was false. I actually heard that was false. So we can move on to the next thing.
Like I said,
we can move on to the next, sir. We can move on to the next thing. You're muted right now, and nobody can hear you. Move on to the next thing.
So pretty much now it's being more presidential, being more focused. Even that was told not to use the term Chinese virus because that's not the medical term for it. It's coronavirus 19. He kept using it, but that's Trump. I understand.
That's not right either. It's COVID, not coronavirus 19. Get your facts right. So, but at the end of the day, you're wrong. At the end of the day, you're wrong. We can say it's a China virus because it comes from China. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's what you want to say. You want to call it like that? That's fine. But that's not the president should not be using those terms.
Well, how about you get the terms right first? How about you get the terms right before you try to correct somebody else?
But I'm not the president.
Well, if you want to, sir, if you want to correct somebody, get the terms right first before you correct somebody. How about that?
Oh, really? Okay. So
coronavirus 19
line is that it dismantled the pandemic team that Obama implemented after the Ebola, and everything was even you should watch that. Everything that he said, it was all false. It's being pretty much the guy debunked every single. He didn't say that it's his fault that it was going on. He didn't say like, I understand this is not his fault. You can't blame Trump for the spread, but you could blame Trump for the misinforming the public and for dismantling the pandemic thing. You could blame him for that. Well, even without the pandemic thing, we wouldn't know what will be the outcome. But it tells part of that responsibility is the president, and he should be responsible. That's the bottom line. The same way when the economy is good and you take pride, when things are bad, you got to take responsibility. You agree or disagree?
I mean, what do you mean responsibility for what? Like the disease outbreak? How is that his fault?
No. Well, I mean, if he mislead the public saying that the virus is in contempt, that we're going to have developed the vaccine rapidly, and then the head of the CDC said that's not true, he should take responsibility.
I mean, look, at the end of the day, the virus is contained because we don't have like massive deaths like the way China had at the beginning. It's not like that over here. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not his fault that a virus came from China and affected Americans. You can't say that he did something to make that happen. It'd be different. We're talking about the economy where he actually did things to make the economy go one way or the other, talking about lowering taxes or raising taxes or whatever. The right thing that he did to, I'm gonna finish my thought. You're not going to interrupt me. It's different. And if he does a thing that's actually going to contribute to the economy going one way or the other, but a disease, you can't say that it's his fault at all for a disease happening. It's just not the case. But hey, the lines are jumping, so I'm gonna get to a few more calls. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Alrighty. Thank you to my man Ivan for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And I'm gonna try to keep the calls not be 1,000 years because I got a lot of calls on the line. And I'm gonna try to get to the next one here. And thank y'all for joining. Most certainly appreciate you. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 314 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hi, ABL.
Hello.
Hi, ABL. It's Amy again. How are you?
Everything is good. How about yourself?
Oh, very good, ABL. I promise this time I'm not going to say anything sticky or anything like that.
Okay, all right. Okay, let's be careful. We got a family show. Be careful. Okay.
No. I'm not, ABL. I'm not going to say anything inappropriate. I saw your message after I hung up from you last time, and I didn't mean to offend offend you or anybody else, okay?
All right.
I'm sorry if I offended you or anybody on your station, okay?
It's all right. It's all right. You can go.
I'm
We
so
can move
sorry.
forward. We can move forward. Okay.
Okay. So, ABL, I just want to say again, I love your Absolute channel. I love the way that you're looking in your powder blue shirt. It is so cute on you.
Look, caller. I need you. Listen to me. Listen to me well. Let's keep things above board, shall we?
Yeah, I didn't tell you. No,
Uh,
I just was complimenting you on your blue shirt. That's all.
Okay. All right. I'm getting nervous.
Sorry, I didn't mean. I can't. If I can't compliment you, I'm sorry.
I'm getting nervous. That's all. I'm getting nervous. Okay. Let's keep going.
No, ABL, I promise. I'm not. This is a very serious situation that's going on out here, and I just like to keep it a little lighthearted. But no, I'm not going to say. I just wanted to compliment you on your powder blue shirt. Okay, so my first question, ABL, what is the best way to support you? Okay, is it by buying your merchandise through PayPal, Patreon, or Super Chat? What is the best way that you would get, I guess, like the most profits from?
There's not necessarily one way. I think probably PayPal will probably be the most direct way. But I like people to go to the shop because you're able to get something in return. So probably PayPal. Super Chat is fun too. It's just fun because you can interact. To me, it doesn't really matter how you support. As long as you support, that's what really matters.
Okay, so I'm not saying anything inappropriate, ABL. I love you. But I have your merchandise, and I have the black T-shirt that says ABL across it. And so now I wear it as my PJs at night. So I just want to know, what is your favorite cologne?
Look, okay, all right. See, now, look, are you trolling? What's going on?
No.
We talking about cologne. We talking about look nice in your shirt. Look, I don't got no time for that. For real.
No.
How about this? This is what we're gonna do. Let's talk about something political. You want to talk about that? Or you talk about cologne and stuff like that? What's going on?
Well, I know sometimes you talk about that your favorite team is basketball and stuff, so I didn't think there was anything wrong with asking. I'm sorry.
Lord. Okay.
Okay, let's just keep it straight politics. Okay, ABL. So I wanted to know, what did you think about Trump calling it a Chinese virus or Wuhan virus as opposed to just calling it a virus, and people thinking that that's racist because it's calling it a Chinese virus?
I mean, the virus came from China. That's why he's calling it a Chinese virus. People trying to talk about it as racist. They're just playing the game, trying to attack the president and anybody on the right because that's the game they play. That's the game they've been playing. They don't understand how to pause it right now in a time of crisis. They just want to keep on playing the same old silly game, and that's why that whole thing continues to happen.
Well, I think this is a totally serious situation. I personally, ABL, have self-quarantined. Have you?
Not at all. I'm good. I'm going to keep living the way I normally live, but I'm a hygienic person, and where I live at is not even really a thing people talk about. Some people are self-quarantining, but not really. This is not a big city or nothing, so I'm straight.
Okay. Well, I've been self-quarantined. And like I said, I wasn't hoping that you would be mean or anything. I just wanted to know about your T-shirts and your merchandise. I didn't want you to be all mean to me. Sorry, ABL. I just wanted to know. To me, I thought you smelled like 3D crisp.
All right. I mean, okay, caller, you're trolling. I hung up. I don't got no time. Talking about some. I smell like Crest toothpaste and Irish Spring. Anybody got time for that? Let's move on. Caller, I don't know what's going on if you're just having fun trolling, but anybody got time for that? Okay, let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 512, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 512.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Hey, what's going on, ABL? I'm down here in Texas.
All righty, man. What's on your mind? What's going on with you?
I just want to say that a lot of what Trump has done over the past few years has prepared him for this COVID-19 coming in. being able to, shut down the borders without dealing with all the courts that he's already beat, that's really helped him out in getting some of this done. And if the left would have let him do some more of that, I'm sure he would have stopped it even more. But it's been a good stun on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't understand anybody could say that he's not doing the best he can. I mean, this situation, it's not something that you really can prepare for easily. It's something that just kind of happens to you, and you got to be able to deal with it a certain kind of way. So I think that he's doing the best possible job in the situation for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. And down here in Texas, I really think the economy is going to pick right back up. No one's really losing their jobs here. It is hurting the restaurants, the bars. But as far as a lot of the main work that goes on around here, it's definitely going to pick up. So we're looking good down here.
Oh, definitely. Right now it's kind of a struggle. Things ain't going the way they should, but it'll get back to normal because people, they want to go out, they want to support these businesses, they want to live their life as normal, so it'll get back to normal.
Yeah, well, we're hoping that our mayor picks up here in Austin because we have some of that San Francisco effect. We definitely had the tent cities pop up pretty thick in the last year or two. But one good thing here is our law enforcement has really been on top of it. And we don't see many instances of them really getting out of control. That is one difference between here and San Fran, from what I hear. And I'm hoping that, Austin sees what's going on, is paying attention, and can stay ahead of the curve on that.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Well, good, ABL. Well, listen, it's good to talk to you. I've been watching you for at least a year or two, and keep up the good work.
Hey, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And we got a lot more calls on the line. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all hang tight. All righty. Let's go. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, what are you doing?
Chilling, man. On the show. What's happening?
Hey, quick question. Had you ever heard of Rational Taco Bell? It's where you choose which burrito to eat or which taco to eat based on logic.
I've not heard of that one, but that's something new, man. I got to go check it out. See how the tacos taste, man.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I googled that. I couldn't find what the heck he was talking about. I entertain that kind of stuff. But triage has been around since the slave ships. I mean, doctors know about triage and how to treat high risk and people different than low risk people, and people ration need. Hey, about the Wuhan virus, I don't think it's racist to call it the Wuhan virus. Maybe for a different reason. Is it specifically came from Wuhan?
Correct.
And the Zero Hedge got banned from Twitter for actually posting a job rec where a bio firm that studies this stuff was looking for scientists, and then they posted the profile, like from the About Us on the website of the scientists that actually got the job. They studied it there, and I mean, it's a major coincidence that it came from the place that studies it, and not many places study this. I guess there's another outfit in British Columbia, not too far from me in Seattle here. But I mean, if it came from British Columbia, then they would call it the British Columbia virus. And I had read this study that seemed to try to debunk that. They said, hey, we've looked at this virus. It's not a weaponized version of it. Well, who's saying weaponized? Who's saying that it was altered? I mean, it could have been just a regular virus that exists in the wild, but they brought it to Wuhan. It got out in Wuhan, and now it's a pandemic. So, I mean, that's a major coincidence.
Right, exactly. I mean, it could have been released right there. They knew it was dangerous and released it right there, and now we have a global pandemic.
You're talking about Lyme disease. I mean, I think it would be there's a theory that the government was. I mean, that happened to be what they were studying in Connecticut was those ticks and stuff. And all my family's got Lyme disease, by the way. It's horrible.
Wow.
But no, I don't think people. I mean, obviously people are overreacting to it, but I've called in a number of times talking about the economy, man, and it could have been anything that did this. And in terms of people not being able to pay their rent or whatever, what would end up happening is that they would go to the property owner and say, hey, I can't pay $1,000 this month, but I can pay $500 this month. And then the property owners would go to the banks and say, hey, I can't pay all my mortgage or all my building construction loan this month, but I can pay X. And it would end up going all the way back to people that speculate. And for the life of me, we keep doubling down on rewarding people that take risks. And these pandemics, like Lehman Brothers going out of business was a good thing. And when you look at these pandemics, if we keep doing the put situation where we say, hey, invest in real estate, invest in the market, and no matter what, we're going to fix it. The government will come in. And I'm in aviation. I want everybody that speculated in aviation to be hurt by this, and the people that didn't speculate to not be hurt. Trump ought to be sending these signals to say, hey, invest in responsible things and not risky things. And that's what makes the economy good. But I feel like he's doing exactly the opposite of what he has to do.
So if you were in Trump's position, what would your response to this whole thing be?
I think they should focus on tests, and which obviously there's a concerted effort going there. And I think the reason why you see like CNN and all these leftists. I mean, Adam Schiff said something yesterday where he said, Bernie Sanders already won the election. We're all Keynesians now. We're all socialists because we're all just like, oh, okay, think about, I hire a guy that knows a guy from Norway, and he worked for Norwegian Airlines, and he got laid off. Norway just said, hey, we're going to give you 6 months of your salary. That guy should go get a different job. He's got 6 months. In these sort of times, you shouldn't bail everybody out. I mean, the auto bailout didn't work. When the auto industry collapsed, we lost billions of taxpayers' dollars to that, and it's still none the better. And an airline bailout ain't gonna do any better.
But my question was more for like just people that are losing their shirts. Like this whole thing with the virus, you got governments, local governments saying that we're going to close down restaurants, we're going to close down this, close down that, and people cannot go to work where they would normally be able to go to work, pay their bills, pay their rent, or whatever. So, in response to that, if you were in Trump's position, what would your response be? How would you mitigate that situation?
A guy that got laid off, and I think. Like after September, that's why I posted that super chat about the flags. When after 9/11, you saw all these flags really pop up and the community came together. What's the government gonna give to somebody that it doesn't take away from someone else? And I think in terms of rational care, right? To quote Ivar, I can't remember his name, but just to quote him. The society, the individual citizens and the neighbors all have to come together and say, hey, what is in the most demand and what isn't? We need to see the American flags going up everywhere. We need to pull together as micro communities. But just announcing that we're going to get $2,000 and two $1,000 checks, it's going to fundamentally change our behavior. And it's not going to be the behavior that we all really need in order to recover from this in a timely manner. Warren G. Harding did nothing during the Depression in 1921. Nothing. And the Depression was over in a few months. And FDR did everything he possibly could to prevent the Great Depression, which it lasted until the end of World War II. So. Well,
all righty, man. Well, it's been real, man, but I got a lot of calls on the line, so I'm going to get to a few more.
Call out to the Red Pill Barista. Love your show and keep up the great work.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. If you want to get in through Skype, there's an email for that in the description box below. You could be right here. Matter of fact, not right here tonight because that's not working for some reason. OBS, Windows, not having a good relationship right now. But let me get to the next call. And we're going to do, let's try, okay. Nolo King, what's happening?
Oh, hey, man. Wasn't expecting to get on. What's up?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
You can hear me okay?
I hear you well.
All right, fantastic, man. This Corona stuff, it's nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you're talking about they're trying to shut down the whole country, the whole world, and I'm not really sure how much we can take because people, they're losing their jobs every day. They can't pay their bills every day. It's a mess. It really is.
Yeah, and my investments are tanking, but at least the stocks will be lower. You can rebuy them, and when things rebound, I'll benefit. But the thing that I want to talk about is I have staff who are younger, a few years younger than me, and it's amazing to me the mentality, right? They're struggling, and they want to buy $60,000 cars. You know what I mean? They want to have high-speed internet, unlimited data. Like when I was their age, I used to take the bus. I would be with homeless people, and I was making more money than them. But I was putting that money into savings. Like you look at yourself and you say, hey, am I going to put $500 into a car payment, or am I going to invest that? And just the mentality, it's very different.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And the other thing that annoys me is that a lot of these people, have you heard about this meme about them laughing at the boomers dying off?
Yeah, what they call it? They call the virus the boomer remover. I've seen that.
Yeah, and this is the funny thing that I find about our generation is they're laughing, they're mocking the boomers for dying and saying they ruined the economy, and you guys want the exact same thing. That's the thing that fascinates me the most, right? Because the boomers, what ruined the economy is all this stuff with the unions, and they're getting more benefits, and they're not really contributing much to the economy. They didn't struggle. They didn't have much war. And they're in the same situation. They want this. They want the government to bail them out when they could have been saving. Just things like this. I just find that very ironic, quite personally.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just nuts. They're locking everything down. It's a nightmare, but everything is going to be okay. And I hope this will be a wake-up call to everyone just to start saving and not spending their money ridiculously, and just buy what you need. You don't need 20 bags of toilet paper. Just get one or two. You'll be fine. They'll be back next week, right? So,
right. I mean, the whole hoarding thing is like, what are we doing? It's not the end of the world. And if it was, you're getting the wrong thing right there to prepare you for the apocalypse.
Yeah, I'm just guessing it's because it makes them feel like they're in control. People need to accept we're not in control. Just take it day by day. Don't freak out. I stopped looking at my investments because it keeps going down. I spoke to my financial planner, and he told me, just relax. Everything's going to be okay. And that's all you can do. Just wait it out. But anyway, I won't take up too much of your time. It was a pleasure talking to you, man.
All right. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right, I know Lil King with the call. Most certainly appreciate him. We got a lot more calls on the line. I'm going to try to get to a few more. Let me go ahead and get to it. Let's go to, all right, 405, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Naomi. How are you?
I'm well. About yourself?
Good. Hey, I'm going to make this real fast because I know you're busy. Okay, so if people will go into Facebook, and there's a channel or site, whatever you want to call it, called Stop the Lies. And I think there's several of them, but the one that I find is got 3 monkeys on the front, and they're doing see no evil, hear no evil, speak evil. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. But anyway, they post some really excellent information about what coronavirus is all about.
Okay. I had to check it out because it's a lot of information out there, and it's good to have one place where you have a lot of it kind of congregated, a lot of information collected. So I had to check it out for sure.
Yeah, and because let me just say one thing from everything that I've learned doing the research I do, I'm a research buff, is yes, people need to be aware and need to follow what the government is telling us or what Trump's telling us, but know this, it's not you that's in danger. So I feel like people don't understand that this is the storm. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just want to give a shout out, and that crazy lady, she needs to quit calling you.
Yeah, for real. She need to stop with that. But I thank you for the call.
Sure. Talk to you later, ABL.
All right, now take care.
Bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate her. And let's go to the next call here. Okay, caller, you on the line. Tell me who I'm speaking to. Caller, you
What's up, ABL?
What's going on, man?
Hey, man, this not much. I'm down here in Chesapeake, Virginia, where everybody say that they're a Mortal Kombat character with all these masks on.
That's funny.
I'm not even lying. Yeah, what is it? Like,
So,
I've been telling everybody that, huh?
now go ahead.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, I've been trying to tell everybody about this Wuhan Chinese virus, and I've been trying to speak truth because there's so many people that they're sharing things on Facebook, and they don't know what in the world they're talking about. They're just going off of what people say on Facebook. So it's giving a lot of people wrong information, and people just sharing it all over the place. And now people are panicking and going out and buying toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a doctor, but nothing about the coronavirus say diarrhea, upset stomach. So, look, man, I'm just like you, common sense conservatism. It's like, I don't know where these people come up with these crazy ideas, but no.
Now, I'm with you, man, because I don't understand the whole toilet paper thing. You know, and then buying so much of it, it's not like it's not going to be no more next week. They're going to restock the store. You'll be just fine. Get what you normally get. People are they panicking and they doing things that don't make no sense when they panic. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, fear makes people do a lot of crazy things. But my whole spiel is on saying the Wuhan virus. If you say that, that's racist. Now, I'm not woke, but some of these woke people are so woke, it's like they're in a mental coma. Like, it came from China.
Exactly. I mean,
if
it's
if I buy a Mazda, I know that's a Japanese-made car. Should Ford and Chevy get mad at me because I say that my engine was built in Japan? Like, it's to that level, and I try to rationalize it, and I'm like, yo, these people are crazy.
Yeah, it's really a wild thing because there's other viruses that have names of the place where they came from. The virus called MERS, which is also a coronavirus. It stands for Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome because it started in the Middle East. Saudi Arabia, that's the epicenter of it. So it's a lot of other diseases have the exact same type of naming. The German, measles, all kind of stuff. It's a normal thing that we always done. Now all of us say, and like you said, everybody's so woke, they really asleep. And calling the virus or the place where it came from is now racist. It's crazy.
Yeah, and a side note, why is Mickey Mouse calling you ABL to talk about politics?
I don't know what's going on with that. It might be some dude disguising their voice. I don't know what's going on.
So, man, I don't know, man. You probably got some super crazy fans. But look, man, I don't want to hold you up because there's probably 1,000,000,001 people trying to holler at you. But the true out of the blessed one, ABL, and stay safe. And, man, this corona stuff is it's real, but it ain't that real.
Exactly. It's
man.
Exactly. I'm with you, man.
All right, peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, the coronavirus, like you said, is real, but it's not that real. I mean, it's a real virus, but it's not like the plague again. It's just not that. If it were, then you would know, but it's not. So it is what it is. All right, let's keep on rocking here. The number to call, like I said, 434-658-1220. And let's go. All right, call you on the line. 917, who am I speaking to?
Hello.
No? Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Is this ABL?
It is. I got a little bit of feedback in the background. Turn your speakers down for me.
Jess, I shut my my video. Hi, my name is Rachel. I'm calling from New York City, and I just wanted to tell you what was going on here. First, I want to say thank you for taking my call, and thank you for everything that you do, Anthony. Okay, so people are scared here. We're not in lockdown, or, we don't have to, hole up in our homes, although some people are choosing to do that. But it's pretty scary here because everyone's walking around with gloves and masks. And now I don't live in New York City. I live right on the outskirts of New York City, which is Queens, New York. And a lot of people are not going to work. They either choose not to go to work or they're being told not to come into work, say because they work in the restaurant business and the restaurants are shut down. And everyone's pretty paranoid. A lot of people are depressed. And I'm trying not to fall into that, to get sucked into that because I don't know. I don't want to be depressed. I want to just go on living. But, we have to be careful. They're breaking up now the times that we need to shop at our stores. Like they're telling us, if you're a senior, you need to shop at this time. And if you're a different age, you need to shop at another time. So we're all pretty scared here. No one I know personally has the coronavirus. And I know a lot of people. I'm not Miss Popularity, but I do have a lot of, I'm just acquainted with a lot of people because of my business. My business is also suffering. My business, I take care of animals. And people don't need me right now because they're not going to work. And I depend on their going to work because if they're at work, then I need to take care of their pets. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know, Anthony, that was what was going on here in New York City. If no one's called in about New York City.
Right. Yeah. I'm glad you did that because, you're talking about a big city, a lot of people in one area, and then things are a little bit different there because they've closed down all the bars and restaurants, right? Like Times Square.
Yes.
Pretty much empty.
They have that. Yeah, the subways are empty. Now, I haven't attempted to go on the subway, but they are empty from what I'm hearing from friends. And the buses aren't really running so much into Manhattan because no one's going to work. So it's a little bit depressing. I really hope we can get past this because I can't imagine living like this for a long period of time. What do you think, Anthony? You think that this is going to go on for a long period?
It can't persist for so long because people are going to start to get cabin fever. People are going to start to get broke. Businesses are going to go out of business. That's already happened at this particular point. People lost their business already. So people at a certain point are going to say, okay, I'm done. I'm going back outside. I have to continue to make money. And I think that'll happen sooner than later. I think by April 1st, you'll see a change.
Yeah, I hope so. Like I said, it's kind of, I'm not afraid. I'm pretty much not afraid of anything because I've lived through a lot of different things. But I'm just, like it can be depressing. I don't want to be depressed. I think I'm more afraid of being depressed than I am of getting the coronavirus, which is not, I'm not making a joke about it. But, again, I'm hearing, a lot of the symptoms are like cold and flu symptoms. And then if you die from it, then it's usually because you're older or have some kind of, existing condition. So, but I don't know. Just like I don't think all the experts know either because they are just learning about this the same way we are. And, I guess we can look back at this a year from now and say, okay, this is what it really was. But I don't know what to think about it. Sometimes I think that they're, making a bigger deal out of it than they need to. And then other times I don't want to go against, what they're advising us to do because they are the experts. So who do we listen to? God, ourselves, our hearts?
I think we just got to understand that this can't last forever. And at a particular point in time, hopefully sooner than later, we'll be able to get through it. You got to have faith in it. Just understand that we're still here. We're still live and we're still functioning. And there will be an end to this. And I think that'll be soon. So I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, Anthony, and thank you for everything that you do. And I always watch your show whenever I can. I watch you. I'm subscribed and everything.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day.
All right.
Night.
All right. Thank you. You too.
Bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Yeah, don't be, it's going to be like at the end of the tunnel. This is going to be over. It's not going to last forever. It can't. We can't just be holed up in our homes forever, not working forever. It can't be. So we'll get through it. Let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 214, you're on the line. We're speaking to.
Hey, what's up, ABL? This is Tariq, bro.
All right, Tariq, what's happening?
Oh, nothing much, man. I'm just viewing this massive overreaction, man, and I strongly blame the media for this, man. The media is really, especially CNN and mostly liberal media, is really acting like the world is going to end. And when you do your own research on this virus, man, like if you're a young person, if you're not in the vulnerable age limit, man, some people have symptoms and some people just carry it with no symptom. It's not like a death sentence, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're acting like you are going to die. Now, granted, you can still raise awareness as far as, don't go around the elderly and things like that. But I just wish that we can handle the situation a bit differently. Like maybe, if we're going to spend money to take care of American citizens, how about we not shut down the economy, but, if the elderly want to be quarantined, quarantine the elderly maybe and, pay them, but like, I just feel like if we start shutting down the whole economy and things stop going, that's just going to make things worse, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trump can send out those checks, which is, needed for families, but I don't know how much like $1,000, once a month for 2 months can really help out. You know what I'm saying? Especially struggling families, man. So I just wish, maybe everyone should just go back to work and we just quarantine the elders. Like, what do you think about that?
That, to me, that makes a lot of sense. Quarantine the elderly, and if you work around the elderly, then you get quarantined. Like, for example, if you work in a nursing home or something like that, okay, you stay quarantined because you got to be in direct contact with the elderly people. But if you don't work around elderly people, you don't have any kind of contact. Like, I'm not in contact with anybody elderly. My parents are not elderly, and they don't live anywhere near me anyway. So, like, they're still in the 50s yet. They're like in their late 50s. So I don't have that kind of problem with being around elderly people. So I should be able to go out and just do my normal routine without any kind of interruptions. I shouldn't have restaurants be shut down. There shouldn't be schools shut down. It just shouldn't be going on, especially little kids. Like, they're not going to be around a lot of elderly people in school for the most part. So they should go to school and continue to keep on moving. The economy can't just be put on pause like this because people losing their jobs, losing their houses. It has to stop soon.
Yeah, and the thing is, bro, what I've been hearing, like, children are not dying from this virus, man. Children are having very minor symptoms. So, I get it that children are transferring to the elderly because this is a virus that really we have no cure for. So it's really dependent on how strong your immune system is. And sadly, the older you get, the more it deteriorates. But the other thing I want to say is just the political ramifications of this. In a time where the country's supposed to be coming together, you got the liberals still trying to somehow pin this on Trump. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, this whole thing about Trump mentioning the virus being Chinese. I mean, this is the liberal thing. You got the country in panic. And y'all are focusing on Trump's verbiage. That's the thing that just pisses me off, man. I'm just like, it's like you guys keep saying Trump is not pulling this country together, but it's really y'all. It's just really the media. It's just like every shot that you guys want to take, it. Y'all don't want to give them no credit for basically doing some liberal policies as far as sending everybody checks, You know what I'm saying? And like I'm hearing that he's stopping. There may not be any evictions or foreclosures, which is fine. I'm cool with that. I'm not really tripping about that too much. But the media is just that they're focusing on Trump calling it the Chinese virus is just ridiculous. And I love Trump's masterful response to that. He was just like, well, the Chinese are over here blaming the American military for the virus. So you know what? We're going to counter back and call it what it is. And I thought that was a perftly fine answer, man.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, it was, man. Do you think if this goes on, they may postpone the elections?
Man, that's a good question. I don't think so. I don't think so because it's too important. Talking about the presidency, they'll postpone the primaries. They've already done that. But as far as the general election, I don't think so. And then it'll be well into November. So by that time, I think the virus has pretty much been died down because it'll start to get warm. Like what you don't see is the coronavirus in Southern Hemisphere. And you think you would see it in a place like Philippines or Indonesia, Malaysia. It's right there, really close to China, Southeast Asia. They got direct flights going from Manila to Hong Kong and stuff like that. But there's not been this big, massive coronavirus event happening down there. Africa the same way, Australia the same way.
That's a shock. Yeah, that's a huge shock. And one last thing before I go, man. I think if Trump can defeat this coronavirus and bring things to order, this is going to be a massive victory for him, man. This is something that he can brag about, man. This will be a massive. Even these Democrats who voted for Bernie, these youngsters. There's no way you can look at Biden and say that Biden would have done something in anything better, man. I think with Biden, the economy would have just tanked. So this is actually good for Trump, man. Like I see Trump coming out on top, and he's gonna look victorious on this, bro.
Absolutely, man. 100%.
All right, man. Take care, though, boss.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Peace.
All right, Manny. I see what you said about the Philippines, but don't spam the chat. Don't get blocked. I put you on timeout. Now, you said the Philippines state of emergency. Okay. Now, what's the death toll there? I mean, is it looking like Italy? Is it looking like China? Like, what's going on with the death toll? You tell me. How about Indonesia, Malaysia, or anywhere else like Southeast Asia? How about them? How about Thailand and Laos and Burma, Myanmar, whatever you want to call it? How about them? How about Papua New Guinea, places like that? Well, not PNG because it's kind of remote, but you understand what I'm saying? It's not like Italy and Malaysia. It's just not. So what's the death toll looking like in those particular places? How about Africa? There's a lot of Chinese in Africa right now. People that go back and forth to Africa from China because at this particular point, Africa is China's China. But yet no big severe outbreak in Africa. How did that happen? Probably because it's still the summertime in the Southern Hemisphere and not the wintertime or like closer to fall. It's not cold in Africa or Malaysia, places like that. It's still pretty warm or hot, actually. But let's get to the next call here. And the number to call is 434-658-1220. Before I get to that, I got super chats I got to read right quick. Then I'm going to get to the next call. Thank you to Charles Senator Jr., who says the average age of Wuhan virus victims is 81. Very good information. I thank you for that. Tom Hex is in Australia, but he's not an Australian. He could have gotten it on the way to Australia from somewhere else. That doesn't mean that he caught it in Australia. Singapore has some in Indonesia, but what about the death rate? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, what's the death toll looking like? You can have it, but what about the death toll? Like West Virginia has one case, but nobody died from it there. So let's talk about that and put it in context. All right. Thank you to JLV 65 for becoming a member. I most certainly appreciate you for that, boss. Thank you to AHC, who says listed U.S. COVID-19 deaths 118 and COVID-19 recovered 106. This will double every 5 days from now on. Now, how many actually have the virus, though? That's the thing. And also, how many have been tested out of those that could have it? You don't really have accurate numbers yet to really just make assertions. But thank you for your donation. Thank you to Nippon, who says, I meant Saturday, Sunday. I can do both shows. Now I'll speak to you then. All right, I'll see you Saturday. Thank you for your donation. Thank you to the outlaw Johnny Law for becoming a supporter of the channel. I most certainly appreciate you for that. Thank you to Louise67 who says, white and love you, brother. Keep up the good work. And thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to AAC who says, look at how many people have recovered from COVID outside of China. COVID will kill millions of Americans in the next few months. I mean, why do you say that if China was able to recover and not have millions of deaths? I don't understand how that makes any sense. I think the total global deaths is like, what, less than 5,000? If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. And AAC also says that I need to save lives now. Starting today, ABL can save lives. He needs to save lives. Be where I told you the truth. Save at least one idiot from themselves with the facts. The facts are that people die every day from a variety of different things. The flu cost 80,000 lives in 2017, 2018 winter season. But who cares about that, right? We're not shutting down the whole economy over the flu. 80,000 in the U.S. alone, not just the world, but in the U.S., 80,000. Nobody cared about that at all. It was not a big deal. 12,500 from H1N1 under Barack Obama in 2009 in the U.S. Who cares? But you got 100 people that die of COVID. It's a problem. Shut down the whole economy. Blame Trump and everything else. Buy all the TP in the world. Eat the toilet paper, the whole 9 yards. But I move on. Thank you to Miriam Vidal, who says, I'll call it the coup de flu. Trump 2020. Hey, that's a good way to look at it. Thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Chance Whitley, who says, God bless y'all. God bless you as well. And thank you for your donation. Shout out to Denny RN, who says, ABL is a great patriot. Thank you for your very kind words and your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Mike F for your donation. And thank you to Mike F, who also donates and says, could this be a bioweapon from China? It most certainly could be, but I don't know if that's true or false. Trump is the first president to challenge them, and they don't care about killing their own people. Who benefits? Good point. I'm not sure why they would do that, because if they disrupt the United States, and that kills their biggest trade partner, but that's a good point that you made. And he also says the unknown about this is that what was made in China, and who knows what it's going to do to you. Alrighty, thank you for your donation. Shout out to my man Killer Sushi 99, who says, I got a sinus infection last Friday. I went to a Minute Clinic and got some antibiotics. Now my work says I have to be quarantined at home. I'm not even contagious. Been forced to remote in all week. It sucks, but people just so scared that if you got a sniffle, if you cough one time, they want to say, oh, quarantine right now and get away. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to JNBD for becoming an ABL supporter. I most certainly appreciate you. Alrighty. The lines are jumping. I'm going to get to some more calls. So the number to call is 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next call. All right, caller, who is this?
Oh, good evening, ABL. This is Anna Kasparian of the independent media network, The Young Turks. How you doing this evening?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
Obviously, it could be better in these trying times, and I'm sorry for those trolls that called you earlier. It's very unkind, especially, I come from a place where I deal with a lot of trolls.
Like Chank Yogurt, is he a troll?
Anyway, so speaking of people, somebody did want to talk to you. I'm not sure why. I wanted to get a hold of you first to prepare you. He's not exactly in the most stable financial state. So, let me just put you through, and here we go. Yes, is this Anthony Logan?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
This is Cenk Uygur, independent media, Young Turks. How you doing?
Oh, Cenk Uygur, I was just talking about you just now, man. How's everything going over there?
Oh, it's doing pretty well. It's great to see you guys are stealing our policies once you screwed us out of the election by rigging it and getting my senile uncle as the Democratic nominee. I bet you're really proud of that. Now stealing our UBI and brainwashing Andrew Yang.
Well, it's not UBI, because we're not talking about giving anybody money just because and forever, like year to year to year, month to month to month. We're talking about kind of a disaster relief kind of thing. 2 checks for 2 months, and that's it. And our whole thing is to get everybody back to work, not have them be living on this whole perpetual welfare state. So yeah, and your man Bernie Sanders, Doesn't look too good. He probably won't be the nominee at all. You get your other friend in there, Joe Biden. How you feel about that?
How do I feel about that? I'll tell you how I feel about that. We're going to war. We're going to war. We're gonna go. You know, this is something we're going to fight the establishment until the final dying last breath, and then we're going to endorse the establishment. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes, because remember last time Bernie was talking about how he's all anti-establishment, this, that, and the third. And then when Hillary Clinton was a nominee, he got behind her and did whatever she said. So it'd be a 2016 repeat all over again for sure.
Listen, Anthony, I think that you are holding Bernie to a double standard, because obviously when Bernie Sanders gets behind a woman, you don't judge him the same way as when Joe Biden gets behind a woman, probably because he doesn't inhale as strong enough.
Yeah, that's probably why he's not over there hair sniffing and doing anything inappropriate like creepy, freaky Joe is doing.
But just you wait. We have a plan of how to deal with them, and then we're going to deal with you.
Oh, really? What did I do? Like, what's like? How will I be dealt with here?
Listen, Anthony. First things first. I told you we're going to go to war. We're going to go. The Justice Democrats, Kyle Kalinske, that fat dude who made that movie about GM. We're all going to go district by district, village by village. Get rid of all the Armenians. Establishment Democrats, and until there's not a single one left, and then we're going to take over.
Wow. Hey, man, just relax a little bit. You over there breathing hard and everything. I want you to calm down.
Of course I'm breathing hard. I'm drooling, and there's mucus coming out of my pores here. You better be ready, ABL.
Hey, I'm ready for 4 more years of Trump, man. Trump 2020.
Anyway, have a pleasant evening, and remember, youngturks.com/go for all your contributions, and we're the independent media, baby.
All righty. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Night.
All right. Shout out to Anna Kasparian and Chunk Yogurt, however you say his name, from the Young Turks are calling into the show. A couple of superstar people over there freaking out because of the coronavirus and some other things. And it'd be funny when Bernie Sanders drops out, which would be that'd be soon enough. He'll drop out, I say, within the next month, because of this whole, like, his exit would be because of the virus. We don't want to waste any more time or money. We want to, do the right thing, get this man out of office and join forces, this, that, and the third. It'll be the same thing with 2016, but this time he'll have the virus to blame. But let me get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. All righty, let's go ahead and get to... All right, Jordan, what's happening?
Nothing much, ABL. Yourself?
Everything's going good, man. Can't complain.
Yeah, I got bad news for me, man. I'm going to be stuck inside this apartment for quite a while.
So are you under quarantine? What's going on?
No, well, I'm not. I don't have the coronavirus, but I'm in university. But unfortunately, universities decided they're going to cancel on-site classes.
So it'd be online classes?
Yep.
Wow.
So yeah, they banned all the teachers from coming to campus, and now I've been sitting in this, I'll be honest, I've been sitting in this apartment for the past 2 days, playing video games and doing work and stuff. It's, now that I don't have much to do. So,
Yeah, man. That's not, now how about any places near you, restaurants and malls or anything like that? Are they open?
The fast food restaurants and all that stuff, they're still open, and the grocery stores. So I can always go get groceries when I need to.
Okay.
It's just that there are places that have unfortunately closed down. Well, temporarily. So they're gonna have to. So I just have to stick with that. Like, I can't go to the pool. I can't go to the gym. I can't go to a number of places.
Right. Yeah, that sucks. It does.
Yeah. But did you hear? There's a reporter that said. They don't want it to be called, the coronavirus to be called the Chinese virus. They wanted it to be called the bat virus.
The bat virus? Really? They said that?
Yeah, the bat virus. And their explanation was, well, this virus doesn't speak Chinese.
Wow. That's hilarious.
Something tells me it's MSNBC, but I forgot who said it. You'll probably be able to find it.
Oh man, that's crazy because number one, first of all, there is no Chinese language. You're talking about Mandarin, Canto, Fushahese, Shanghaiese. You're not talking about Chinese. There ain't no such thing. That's like saying, American, speak American. No, there ain't no such thing called American. It's called English. And so we speak in America is English. Like what they speak in China is probably Mandarin or something like that. So that whole thing, that's just somebody that's just not using too much of their brain cells to think about anything logically. It came from the country of China, therefore it's Chinese. Very simple.
Yeah, I'm just real sick of people trying to blame. People have mentioned this before, but I'll say it. I hate when people try to put the blame on the U.S., talking about this as the U.S. fault, despite us knowing that this leaked from China. So we should be blaming China. But we got people like Samantha Bee and all these other hucksters on the in the world trying to pin this on the United States. Like, if we ever got that $1,000 that Trump was talking about, I would want China to pay for it.
Yes, 1,000%. Absolutely. Because it's their fault. They're the ones because, it's one thing to have a virus start and it's not really your fault and all this and that. But number one, they were allowing these meat markets, these wet markets to have bats and rats and cats and everything else mixing together, creating the environment for the virus, number one. And then number two, when the virus first broke, they didn't want to tell anybody. They tried to keep it secret. And then when the U.S. offered to help in the early stages, they were like, nope, we don't want it, get it away. And now we have a global pandemic.
Speaking of which, Canada, Justin Trudeau has decided to close the borders. He's not going to allow migrants in unless they're from the United States.
Yeah, now that's hilarious. Now all of a sudden he wants to close the borders for safety.
Yeah, I thought that's not being very inclusive. I thought we were supposed to build bridges, not borders.
That's what I thought. I mean, but apparently when it comes to some safety, then he'll change his mind. Not for people that are coming over here gang banging and selling drugs and whatnot before a pandemic. For a very serious thing, he'll close the borders. But for gang bangers, murderers, stuff like that, not really a big deal.
Yeah, not only that, but this was right after his wife was discovered to have it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that too. So that personal thing probably contributed to it. And Germany is doing the same thing. They're going to stop accepting migrants.
Well, hey, finally, maybe they'll keep doing that after the virus is over. Same thing with, I think Italy's doing the same thing.
Yeah, because Italy screwed itself. They were like praising, hey, you can't be xenophobic with this coronavirus thing happening. And now it's a disaster in Italy. They're basically saying, if you're a boomer, you're going to die. We're sorry.
That's terrible. It really is. I saw like a lot of the caskets. It was just rows and rows of caskets. People were dying rapidly.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I wanted to talk about the Gillum thing right quick. Did you know that we were talking about Chunky Yogurt? You know that he tried to defend Gillum?
No way. No.
Yeah, Gillum. Yeah, he put this tweet. I'll pull it up right quick. Yeah, but he basically tried to defend that whole incident with Cenk and with Gillum and that male porn star and whatever that is. And here's the tweet he put on March 13th. You don't have to look through it. The Andrew Gillum headlines are very misleading. He was not in a seedy motel by himself. He was at a high-end hotel with friends for a wedding. They were all intoxicated, as everyone in weddings. Even if there was meth, this is the one that got me. Even if there was meth, it was on the floor. There were at least 3 people in the room. And this was hilarious. Your last caller thought that, or maybe you thought that Cenk was a troll. Tweets like this make me think he's a troll, especially considering all the lies he spewed in this post.
He is a troll. Because come on. Like, first of all, a wedding on a Thursday night, and like, come on. And then my thing is 1:00 in the morning, you in the hotel with a well-known gay male escort. Like, what are you doing? And the thing about it is that they say he went home after that. Gillum went home after that. Like, the police got there and he went home. Now, okay, let's do a little bit of thinking. Okay, Gillum was mayor of Tallahassee, Florida. That's nowhere near Miami. and he was in Miami. So if he was able to go home from that situation, he has a house in Miami. I don't know how he did that. So he's got money, basically. He does not need to be in a hotel shacking up with some dude, hanging out with him, partying. You have a whole house you can go to where you can have a party over there. Why aren't you over there with your wife and your kids at 40-something years old? Obviously, he was in the hotel, getting high, having a little bit of fun with the boy. That's what was going on.
That was most likely what had happened. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And also, the guy, Gillum said there was a wedding, but the guy he was with, the prostitute who said he was friends with for a while, he said he doesn't know what wedding they're talking about, and there was no wedding mentioned. So
of course not, because that wasn't why he was there. He was there to do something else.
Yeah, because of the depression he got from losing. But yeah, Cenk. Before I go, I'll say this: Cenk has been having the worst time of his life this month. He's been on a roll. First, he terribly loses his campaign in California, and he's still accepting donations for some reason. Kind of activates those almonds a bit. And then his whole revolution was absolutely decimated by Super Tuesday. And then I think some of his former coworkers are suing him. And then now this. So, it's a gift that keeps on giving.
100% correct. Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm going to go play some video games. I'll catch you later, ABL.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Peace. That's what I'm.
All right, great call from my man Jordan. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for being here. The number to call is 434-658-1220. This is a live call-in show. That's what we're doing right now. We'll be here till 11 p.m. Eastern, so we got about 40 more minutes to go. And I'm going to get to some more calls. 541, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 541. Okay, 541 hung up. Let's go. 712, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Al.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hey, just got a few things here. Basically, let me see here. Okay, we're talking about the law. Then there was something that I heard that Philadelphia basically is not going to let non-violent crimes happen or not prosecute, correct? Or something like that?
Yeah, basically any non-violent crimes, they're not going to either they won't arrest you or they won't lock you up if they do arrest you. The most they're going to do is temporarily detain you and give you a future court date to come back to get rearrested.
Okay. So then we also have, I want to know why and who's buying all these guns and ammo now? Are they just conservatives here, or are they just also liberals here? I'm wondering. You notice that? That's been kind of brought up.
I think it's both. I think it probably is both, but probably more liberals, because people that are concerned, we probably already got our guns already. We're not waiting for this thing to get our guns. Not most of us. I've already had my guns. We know what's going on already, but a lot of liberals are getting scared, so they're thinking, okay, I got to have my guns now. And people are getting surprised when they go to the gun store or when they try to buy a gun online. They realize they can't get it shipped straight to their house, or they can't pick it up right there at the store.
Right, and so I'm gonna hit something else here. Have you noticed that the left hasn't said too much about the borders, letting people in?
Oh, nah, because now they know that they can't really get their argument off right now.
I mean, so then also we closed the Canadian border, so I guess we're racist against Canada. Well, I'm just bringing up some of this hypocrite stuff here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hypocrisy, I should say. So basically, Biden. Let's see here. Last time I remember him saying, "We want to keep the borders open." Okay, is that right? That's the last I heard. And also that, hey, we want to take your guns away. Okay, and we want to give all illegals free health care. Now, my question to Mr. Biden is right now, if I have to go to the hospital and I have an illegal in front of me, who has that right to go to that health service right now? Is it just because, does that illegal get first priority because he is illegal?
Man, that's a very good question.
Well, I mean, wait a minute here. Aren't we supposed to protect Americans?
We're supposed to.
I'm throwing this out there for Mr. Biden here. He's the one that said that basically you know, the illegals are the smartest people in the world, I guess. They can come right in the country here. So, hey, wait a minute here. So you don't think a damn about me as an American, is what you're saying. That's how I feel.
Right.
So I just want to see what your thoughts were on that. I mean, basically, you know, got a senile old man there that basically I wouldn't trust him. You want to talk about someone that can push a button that doesn't know what button to push. So you're going to put this guy in charge of that. So when that phone call, like there was I remember when Obama was running against Hillary, there was a commercial that came out. It says, "Who's going to answer that phone call at 2:00 in the morning?" Okay.
Right.
So, Biden, which phone is he going to pick up? The red phone or the white phone?
He's going to not be able to pick up the phone at all, because you see him on the campaign trail right now. He's lost, doesn't know what's going on. So 2:00 in the morning, when things hit the fan, when we get attacked by a foreign nation, he's not going to know what to do.
Exactly. And is he going to have time to do stuff? So that's what we got to vote on. You know, I'm afraid to say we got to look at this. Number one, I'm glad President Trump, is in office right now. He's the right man at the right time for our country. Can he rebuild the country? I believe he can. So if you know, he's thinking first of the American people and health care. I'm kind of a little bit wishy-washy on this stimulus package, but I do understand there are people that live paycheck to paycheck out there. I feel for them really bad. I do. But you always got to remember there's got to be something good that comes out of this. Number one, what I try to tell people, even my kids, is that you always save for a rainy day. You never know when it's going to happen. Number two, we need to get our manufacturing jobs back here in this country, not overseas in China, with 80% of our medicine over there that's made over there. We need this stuff back in our country. That's national security. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that knew that all these companies were heading over there was getting paid off, and if they are, to me, they should be. I'm sorry, this is almost like treason to me. You're giving away national resources and our national security away. So we have to look at, once this is all over, how can we improve it and bring these important manufacturing jobs back to our country.
Absolutely.
And that way we don't have to be dependent upon other nations. If it means being isolationist a little bit, fine. We need to control our borders.
Gotcha.
Wouldn't you agree? I mean, look at San Francisco.
I'm with you, man. Definitely got to control the borders, because, I mean, like, just in general for security purposes, but especially right now, and you got all this stuff going on, you're not really sure where it's coming from. We definitely got to control the borders right now. But, hey, I got a lot of calls on the line. I'm going to get to a few more. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
You keep it up, ABL.
All right, now. Take care. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Let's get to the next call here. Let's go 539 on the line. Who am I speaking to? Caller 539.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? ABL, this is Lois from Oklahoma again.
All righty. What's going on?
I just want to say, isn't it funny how everybody's shutting their borders down now?
Yes, it is.
And Trump was racist for doing it. It just cracks me up. Anyway, I want to tell you a story. Back in the 80s, when I had my fifth child, I was pregnant with her. I was like 5 months along, and had 4 kids and a husband. We were in our house, secluded, because we all had Hong Kong flu. And I mean, I'm talking about miserable. We're talking vomiting, diarrhea, the whole works.
Right.
And my husband's boss had to cash his check for him and bring our food to our house and leave it on the porch with the rest of his money. Because nobody felt like even going to the store anyway.
Right.
And, I'm sort of thinking, we called it the Hong Kong flu. I guess the woke generation is so crazy that everything is racist.
Right. It's crazy. I mean, at a certain point, things make sense. If it came from Hong Kong, called the Hong Kong flu. I mean, even recently we had the Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, call it MERS, because it started in Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's simple. Now all of a sudden when we say where a thing comes from, that's racist. It makes no sense.
I just laugh every time I hear this. They're going, "You people are crazy. I've never seen so many crazy people in my life." And I'm from Oklahoma, and they call us hillbillies and rednecks and everything you could think of. And we're not that crazy.
Right.
But anyway, it's nice talking to you, ABL.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, she got a point about that. I mean, same thing, West Virginia. I mean, I done seen all kinds of jokes about West Virginia. You know, I was born there. I got both sides. Like my family on both sides comes from there originally. I can trace it back all the way to the 1800s on both sides. And in West Virginia, Canal County, Boone County, Greenbrier, everywhere, all over the whole state. Not so much in the Panhandle where some nut from D.C. probably went to and spread the virus, but different story. I digress. The point is that said the same thing about us. Meanwhile, it wasn't no coronavirus up there. We're not, you know what I'm saying, really involved with that kind of stuff. We're chilling. Okay, but all the jokes going to fly. Oh, you're married to your own brother, this, that, and the third. But it's not even like that. People just talk about things they don't understand. But let's get to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. 305, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, how you doing, Anthony? This is Andres.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, buddy. I haven't checked out the channel in a while, and just want to talk in regards to the whole Wuhan flu, the whole hysteria with the economy, and maybe a little bit about cryptocurrency, kind of get your take on that as well.
Okay.
As far as cryptocurrency, how do you feel that would be affected by the whole market or whatever the case?
Well, I'm not really sure.
With the whole Wuhan flu going on right now.
I'm not really sure how it would be affected. I mean, because I don't know a lot about how the market impacts it. All I know about cryptocurrency is that the value in it is its rarity and also who is willing to buy it from you in, like, you know, American dollars, basically. That's the value in it.
So as far as most blockchains are more geared towards store of value or towards trading, trying to make money off that. There is a blockchain where you can develop apps on top of. I don't know if you've ever heard of Bitcoin Satoshi Vision.
No, I haven't.
BSV. It's like the top 7 cryptocurrency right now. It is a hard fork off of the blockchain. And they actually have an application on top of it, which is a social media site. It's called Twitch.app, and it basically competes with Twitter. And they've been around for about 8 or 9 months. And whenever you make a post, you pay to post. And if somebody likes your post or follows you or essentially shares your post, you get paid for that as well. So since it's on the blockchain, it's an immutable blockchain, it's impossible to censor you because the information is going to the blockchain. And there aren't gatekeepers as far as things like trending or whatever the case. So actually, I know social media censorship is a huge thing. So I just want to actually reach out to you and let you know about that site. It's called Twitch.app, TWETCH.app, and it's probably the best social media site on the web right now. It's really, really amazing.
Okay.
It is in a beta, a public beta, and to get in, you would need like a invite link or whatever the case is. But if you do want that, I'd be more than happy to hand you over that information. maybe you could check it out, give it a go. I don't know if you know who Danny Trejo is.
Yeah, the actor.
Machete.
Yeah.
Yeah, he recently joined, and Eli Roth as well. So it's really getting bigger as far as the size. There's roughly about 11,000 users right now, but it is amazing. So as far as anybody that's conservative, that's getting censored, shadow banned, whatever the case is, it's definitely a site you want to check out.
All right, man, check it out.
If you want, I'll leave you a link in the chat. You could check it out.
Well,
and
you can't put links in the chat. Actually, because I have links disabled. You send it to me on the email. I'll check it out.
All right, that's cool. Yeah, awesome.
All righty, man. Well, thank you for the call.
No problem, Anthony. Thank you for doing what you do, man. I was a little bit nervous calling first time I called, but definitely want to get this information to you. I think it would be really, really big.
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Likewise, Dutch. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. All right, Shreves, what's happening?
ABL, what's going on?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
ABL, listen, don't trust China. China is a-hole.
That man was right.
He is right.
He was a prophet.
He is right. Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, Holmes is right. I was laughing my tail. I was laughing my tail off when I saw that. This whole thing. First of all, that last caller, just before I head into the other stuff about the crypto, I figured I'd chime in because I love this crypto stuff, and I've been mining it for 4 years, and I got a certification in blockchain technology, so just to understand what's going on with it. And I would say the gentleman who called before is right, because it does. Remember I was telling you like a couple years ago when I was mining, I was like, if they put blockchain technology into voting, we would know everything. We would see deadman votes. We would see all sorts of stuff, right?
Right.
So it's a verifiable, again, immutable blockchain, like you said, and you can't hide anything. And it's a double-edged sword because everybody thinks that crypto is anonymous, like criminals can use it. That's not the Wuhan flu. But it's that he's actually right. So you can't actually hide anything on it unless you have like a private coin, a privacy coin. And if they use that technology in voting and in other things, you could actually, see what people are doing. Same thing with like market manipulation. You could see, where all the coins are coming from, all the wallets. So just to chime in on that, that's all I wanted to say. But yeah, I do think that Bitcoin or crypto in general is the future. I think that a lot of people, as far as like the markets go, everything in the market fell. You saw it, right? So, I mean, we all lost money on it. If you're in it, if you got a 401k, if you got stocks, if you have crypto, if you have gold, even gold and silver dropped, everything dropped. And I do kind of feel like it's market manipulation. You know how the Feds operate. So all they got to do basically is just cut the rate, which they did twice, I think within the past like year or two. And now it's at zero, basically. So, to me, I get it. You can kind of stave it off for a little bit. But the thing is, I think that what's coming is we're basically in a recession. If it's going to come back up and this whole stimulus package with Trump, I'm kind of like, I'm in the middle. I'm an independent. So you know how I am. Like, I'm kind of like in the center. But I do agree more with you guys, whereas like, I don't want it to kind of turn into something else, but it's only 2 months. And I can tell you right now, I'm a workaholic, ABL. So I got like 3 jobs that I'm running at the same time. And my second part-time job on the weekend that I work, not during the weekdays, but on the weekend, the 2 days, they just closed down and they're going to be shut down for like 2 weeks. And my other job that I work during the week, they're having me work from home pretty soon. So right. I don't know how this is all going to affect me.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? I mean, like for people like me, I mean, I can't say I don't have a degree. I have a certification, but the way I am is I like to just keep myself busy and just work. And for people like me, this going on, it's going to put a big halt and damper in our wallets, in our life, because the reality is I'm basically, with that part-time off now, I'm basically losing like, you know, 1,000, 1,200 a month, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's kind of, I'm definitely feeling it. I'm going to be feeling it in like probably like 2 months when I'm like, ABL, you know, I'm home, I'm playing video games in Discord, you know, which might be good because, you know, you and I can get some game time in. You promised me like we were going to do something special for ABL Discord.
Yes, yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Remember we used to do like the tournaments in ABL Discord? We used to have like movie nights, music nights, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember that stuff?
Yeah.
And you would come in and we just, you know, we would do like Insurgency co-op and just 20 of us get in a room, start playing.
Yeah.
So it's a good time. If people want to join into ABL Discord, I think the link's in the description box, but we can post it.
Definitely.
But yeah. So yeah, that's my kind of take on the stimulus package. Or whatever you want to call it, the Wuhan flu, the Kung Fu flu, and the falafel flu, the MERS. Yeah, I mean that's okay. I'm gonna say it like this. You know me, I like to just think from every angle. You know, I don't discount quote unquote conspirators or conspiracy theorists. Not conspirators, conspiracy theorists, because there is a lot of truth that they speak, and you know me, I've been studying a lot of these deep thoughts for like basically 25 years. A lot of the stuff, I'm not sure if you ever heard of Dean Koontz.
Yeah, I have.
So he's got a book called Eyes of Darkness, and in that book, he mentions, or it's kind of like known because he had military advisors, that there's like actually a bioweapons facility in Wuhan, and they manufacture obviously bioweapons and chemicals. And I'm not sure if you noticed, but you can actually go online right now on Washington Post, and if you search this up right now, ABL, you can actually see the burial pits in Iran, and apparently they're visible from space. That's how many bodies are out there. And I don't mean to I'm not laughing at it. I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of conflicting stories that are kind of going around. And I think it's, you know, I agree with Tariq where he was saying, I blame the media because a lot of it is mass hysteria. I walked into Stop and Shop and I was like, you know, all the shelves were empty. I was seeing people that I've never seen in there before. You know what I'm talking about? Like the bleacher creatures, or like the creatures, you know, that come into Walmart at like 1 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Afghan wrapped around their head and shit. You know, spikes and purple hair, all this other stuff. I was seeing people with masks, gloves on. I'm like, damn. And all I was trying to do was I went to the freezer just to get some frozen chicken. Even all the frozen chicken was gone. It's like, what am I going to do? Just eat my rice by myself? You know, like, I'm going to be eating rice for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, man, this whole thing is crazy. But I've been going to the store and everything. You see some things that's missing, but for the most part, everything's straight. You know, I think people just need to calm down. Whatever they need is going to be restocked pretty soon, and, you know, just get back to normal, man. But hey, I got a lot of calls on the line, so I'm going to get to a few more, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. All right. Peace, ABL. Talk to you.
All right, peace. All right. Shout out to my man Sharice for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And let me get to my next call. 956 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Calm down. Whatever.
956, can you hear me?
This is Luciano, but keep in mind I'm calling from a new phone. So this phone has better signal. And wow, I made like, can I just say I made like 28 attempts to call in my other phone. 76, 18 on this one. That's some dedication right there.
Yeah, 100%, man. Absolutely.
So, where do I even start? Coronavirus hysteria. It's canceling everything. But have you all noticed, and I don't think any of my previous callers, well, not mine, but the previous callers before me even brought this up. The sports industry is facing the biggest crisis right now ever. I've ever seen tournaments being, postponed at once. Even the Olympics are being considered, to be canceled. It's like, what? Oh, and don't even get me started on my favorite sport, motor racing, is also just interesting because, motor racing, mostly cars, you do that technically indoors. And not to mention, you barely are having any human contact. I was like, well, I guess I was lucky to go to the beginning of the WEC season race here in Austin at the Circuit of the Americas. And if you guys want to see some pictures, I posted it over at the ABL Discord server, and it was nice. You know, it was chill. I mean, the sound and the roar of the cars was as raw as they came, but you know, like, and also this is reminding me again, we're not a capitalist society anymore. We're a crony society. Doesn't the coronavirus kind of reinforce this?
I'm not really sure how.
Well, think about it. Instead of innovating new ideas, right, and you know, new tactics and just new protocols for the virus, we're just consuming. We're mass consuming. We're not really taking our time to be considerate. We're not taking even our time to see if, you know, another pandemic is going to hit us soon. We're just letting the media drive us all crazy, because even here in Texas, we have the grocery store HEB, and even HEB, which I did not expect much, but I get that it's kind of a discount store when compared to other top and retail chains. But even HEB is facing a big shopping crisis from this. I'm like, what? Toilet paper, the hand soap. And even as a germaphobe, I'm not scared and frightened by this virus. I know that a coronavirus is all hyped up. It's a fear. It's a new fear-mongering tactic.
Yeah.
It's the same way it's the same way we hype up the fear of death, because we fear death so much, but the masses are making like profit, and you know, they're broadcasting us for being fools to the fear of death. Let me explain. We're not supposed to fear death. The problem is, as we became a massive a society, we were like, oh, well, look at what we could achieve. Look at all the legacies, this and the third. Back in the hunter-gatherer days, we accepted death like it was a part of our natural destiny. Now we just fear death, you know, so we give power to the pharmaceutical industry. We give power to all these giant corporations to take care of us. And that's another thing that the coronavirus crisis is teaching me. I'm not going to call it a pandemic because it's BS. And, you know, this is what I've been taught. We're expecting for the society to take care of us. We're not going to take care of ourselves. You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So we're expecting farm to take care of us. We're expecting all the stores to take care of us. We're expecting even the ammo and weapons to take care of us. I'm like, no, sorry. You got to learn some survival skills. How do you all think? You know why the Spanish flu and the Black Plague killed so many people? Because they weren't prepared for that. A pandemic, that's the point of a pandemic. It's like a test of natural selection. You can't expect for you to be taken care of by society and corporations and all these other outliers. Like, what is this? If the same people who were begging for World War III show they're not even ready for a pandemic such as the coronavirus.
Good point.
What?
Very good point.
So, yeah, so I just wanted to get that out of my chest, because I think this is ridiculous. This is pathetic. We're wasting so much supply. We're wasting so much money. We could be actually, and you know, we're not even using the supply properly. All the poor and disabled and elderly people are actually going to be probably devastated by this, because people they have stupid consumer habits about this. It's funny. People care about their hygiene all of a sudden, but then when I look at other people, apparently to them, it requires so much effort and even practice to, you know, have good hygiene. Like,
no doubt. I'm with you, man. I'm with you. But hey, I got a lot of calls on line. I'm gonna get to a few more before I close on out. So thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Anytime, just wanted to get that out of my chest.
All right, now, peace.
Peace.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to the next call here. 541, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name is Bill.
All righty, what's going on?
All right. Are you talking to me now on this telephone or TV?
I'm talking to you right now. The stream is delayed, so don't look at that. Just talk to me on the phone. Matter of fact, if you have your stream on in the background, can you turn it off for me? I
will right now.
All righty.
It's off right now, partner.
Thank you.
Yes. Now listen to me. I picked you up on that blue. I'm an old man. I'm 70 years old. I was a Democrat for 50 years until about 2 years ago. A blind man can see what the hell the Democrats are doing right now. A blind man can see what the media, and I will outspring their names. That would be that CNN, that MSNBC, and now if I'm thinking about throwing NBC out of my house, ABC, because all of them are crooked. You know, nobody wanted to give President Trump a chance. Listen to me. I'm old school. I didn't vote for President Trump. I did not vote for him. I took my vote and wrote a different name in on that ballot. However, I can't take away credit where credit is due. And President Trump has done everything, to my knowledge, from what I have seen, that he said he has going to do, and he's going to do more. I foresee an election coming in whenever the next election, in November, the biggest landslide that the United States has ever seen. President Trump's going to be reelected again. The Democrats don't like that, but I'm sorry to say it. The thing I want to see come back into policy is that man was voted into the presidency of the United States by the people. 65 million people, I believe, voted for him in 2018 or whenever he was voted into. However, the people voted him in. Yet we got people in high regard places, Congress, House, Senate, even all over the United States, that do not like him for some reason. They hate his guts, and they cannot stand it because he's doing what he says he's doing. What my fellow ex-Democrats need to do is step back and start respecting the president the way he should be. Talk to the president besides calling him Trump. Instead of, you better start calling him Mr. President. I foresee several high dignitaries going to prison in the next year. And I'm sure you understand where I'm coming from when I say that.
Absolutely.
I hate to say it, but Miss Clinton, your ass is on the verge of being put in prison. So is Stewart for making those threats against the Supreme Court. He needs to be put underneath the damn jail. I'll promise you this, ABL. If you'd have made that comment on TV, your ass would be underneath the prison so quick your head would spin. So would I. I'm an avid Second Amendment man. I believe in carrying my weapon everywhere I go. I'll give you an example. I've been carrying a concealed weapons permit pretty much all my life. And you know, this year, I called up and told them to send me that and they don't want to send it to me because I'm over 65 years old. Well, you know what? They just caused me to break law then, because I'm going to carry my damn weapon everywhere I go. And if I see somebody trying to cause mass destruction, maybe I can put a halt to it right there. Whether they like it or not, I'm not putting up with that crazy crap. I'm telling you right now, let's just step back, take a breath, let the man do his damn job. And once he's done with it, you'll see that the United States is the strongest country in the United States world. Cut and dry.
100% correct, man. I'm right there with you.
Okay, buddy, that's all I got to say. I've been watching you for like 3 months, young man. I've been trying to call about 2 hours now, but I got to tell you, you're in my home state. I don't claim Virginia no more. I left Virginia in 1968, 17 years old, joined the Marine Corps. And I've been back. My father and mother, they stayed there, and I still have close friends there. But I'm here to tell you, Democrats have ruined that state.
You're right about that. Absolutely. And it's a shame, too.
That state.
It's a shame.
Huh?
It's a shame, too.
Well, I graduated from Dinwiddie County High School down south of you. Are you up in the Alexander area or where? Richmond? Where are you at?
No, I'm from the Hampton Roads area.
Oh, up in Hampton Roads.
Yes.
My God, sir, young man, I was born in Newport News, Fort Eustis.
Yeah, I used to live in Newport News, matter of fact. I used to live on the corner of Jefferson and Mercury when I first came to Virginia.
Do you know where Cedar Creek Grade is? Oh, not Cedar Creek Grade. Let me see. Denby Avenue is?
Denby, yeah. Like northern Newport News,
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly where I started my life.
Oh, wow, okay.
My father was stationed at Fort Eustis. He's from Winchester, Virginia, and that's where my grandmother and all them. But I don't claim Virginia no more. I live on the West Coast, not the West Coast. I live in Oregon for the last 15 years, and I'm about ready to go somewhere else. I don't know a state yet. I've been thinking about my goodness, Montana.
Okay, yeah,
So,
yeah.
That seemed like a good state to go to. But the ABL, keep your jobs up, man. I appreciate your help, though, man. You're putting out the good stuff. Just tell these people, step back, take a damn breath, and let the man do his job. Whether you like him or not, let him do his job. My man that worked for me when I was in the military for 27 years, nobody ever called me by my last name without at first addressing me by my awarded rank. And we ought to do the same for our president.
I agree with you. Absolutely. Thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right, now. All right, great call from my man from Virginia. Yeah, Newport News. No, all about Newport News. When I first came to Virginia, you know, when my parents moved from West Virginia when I was a baby still, because I'm born Charleston, West Virginia, of course. We moved to Newport News. There's a trailer park on Jefferson and Mercury, right by the JRB. If you know about Virginia, you know what I'm talking about. And that's where I came to when I first moved to Virginia. And then I was all over the place. I lived in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, and then we came to Portsmouth and the Chesapeake. So, yeah, shout out to Virginia. And it's a shame what they did to that state. It was much different when I was a youngin'. The governance of the state, it was much different. Now you got just a bunch of DC mercenaries in there running the show, and it's a shame. But it is what it is. Alrighty. So, super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to maybe one more call, and then I wrap it on up, put a bow on the top. Thank you to Valerie Rogers, who says, this too shall pass, trust in the Lord. Very good words right there. Thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to William Garcia, who says, ABL look up, I know I'm going to get this wrong, hydroxychloroquine. It's a drug that has been effective for the Wu flu. #KillClovid. Thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to my man, Bolt Like a Leopard, a.k.a. Ramon, who says, you should get Streamlabs, ABL. I'm going to look into that. I've seen Streamlabs a lot. People keep talking about that, but I've not really done anything with it. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to Jessica Doman, who says, Officer Tatum said blood and fecal matter was found on the bed in the motel. Talking about Andrew Gillum. So gross. That is gross. But you already know what he was doing in that hotel room. But thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to Miriam Vidal, who says, Corona means crown in Spanish. Therefore, I object to coronavirus. It's racist. Prove me wrong. Exactly. No, you got a Spanish word. And if you are a Spanish speaker, you're Hispanic, you should be offended. Thank you for your donation. Most certainly appreciate you. Shout out to Say Hi, who says, I designed a new gun for the libs. The barrel is shaped like a U. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Adrian Harries, who says, I've read that there will be a national quarantine for 2 weeks to combat the virus. Is this true? No, that's not true. That's a rumor that's been spread a lot by the press because they've been talking about that. I think CNN talked about that. They may have spread it. It's not true. But thank you for your donation. I most certainly appreciate you. Thank you to Charles Turner, who says, glad you're keeping it real yet optimistic, ABL. Hey, I got to, man. I mean, I'm not a fear monger. I'm not going to say the sky's falling. I'm going to just call things how I see it. Just, you know, you get the facts as far as I know, and then you get my opinion. That's pretty much how I run the show. But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. And let's get to the last call. 910, you're the line. Who am I speaking to?
Yes, sir. Is this Anthony?
Yes, it is. Who am I speaking to?
Anna Blue.
All righty. What's going on?
I'm a huge fan. I didn't know it was going to answer like that, but I am a huge fan. My daughters are huge fans. I just want to know what your take on them releasing criminals like in Philadelphia, New York City, Ohio, and even we're in North Carolina. Even Charlotte released criminals today. I mean, what's your take on that with all the virus stuff going on, quarantine and all this stuff, and then they release criminals?
Yeah, it's crazy because the thing is, what they're trying to say is that they want to prevent the spread of the virus and all this and that. But what they're really doing is relieving some of the prison overcrowding. What's going to happen with that is you're going to have more crime on the street because these criminals, they may say they're low-level criminals, but you got a lot of people that's on drugs and people that really shouldn't be out in the street. They're in jail for a reason. They had problems in society. That's why they're in jail. So crime's going to go up. And then since they're releasing some of these criminals, other criminals that are not in jail yet are going to see that and then take notice. They're going to say, okay, you can pretty much do whatever you want as long as it's not involving a gun or something crazy like that. So they're going to go out here and commit crime as well, which is why I think it's good that people are getting their guns, because you're going to see more crime, therefore higher demand to protect yourself. The police can't really be there to protect you. They can't be your security guard. So with more criminals on the street and more crime that will be committed, you got to protect yourself. I'm not offending them at doing that at all. They should continue to, enforce the law and keep criminals in jail rather than release them.
Yeah, I really want to know your take on it, because, some places are even cracking down on gun sales and ammo sales, and then you have them releasing these criminals, and it just, on top of everything else, it just doesn't make sense right now. But I just really wanted your take on that. I appreciate it.
Well, I thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, no problem.
Good night.
Good night. All right, a shout out to the caller, but that'll be a wrap for me right at 11 p.m. Eastern time. If you were not able to get on, I'm sorry, but I got to go ahead and wrap up the show. Thank y'all for a good show. It's always a good one. Always fun with you guys tuning in live to the show. If you like what you heard in the show, please like the video. And if you are not subscribed yet, you're a first-time viewer or whatever the case may be, go ahead and subscribe. It is absolutely free. And thank you to all the super chatters, all the PayPalers, all the patrons, everybody. Thank y'all. Thank you to everybody that has joined the channel. I appreciate you for doing that. And thank you to everybody that's been here, calling in, watching the show, supporting it, doing whatever you're doing. I appreciate you. Let me see. And thank you to AAC for the last donation, who says, the future now comes fast and hard. Be strong, but remember, anyone can kill you, and you can kill anyone, and you may not know you have it. Talking about the virus. Like I said, I'm no fear monger. I'm not going to be afraid. Put your faith in the higher power, and I think you'll be just fine. And of course, just do common sense things. Take care of yourself, be hygienic, and I think we'll be able to get through it. I think in a couple months' time, we'll look back on this and be like, wow, that was a whole lot of nothing for nothing. But we'll see. Matter of fact, I saw on Twitter, China said that they've had no new deaths, no new cases confirmed of coronavirus. Not sure how true or false that is. China will tell you anything. They'll tell you that the sky is green when it's blue, but that's what they've said. I think we'll be able to get beyond this. You got a lot of stuff going on right now, but we'll be able to get through it and get to life again. But thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. I'll be back again with a live show on Saturday of this week. As every week, I'm here Wednesday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern and Saturday from 8 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern. This show that you're listening to right now will be available on audio streaming platforms. It'll be everywhere. I'll post a link to it on my social media. What would that be? On Friday morning. I'm going to try to do my Wednesday show Friday morning, Saturday show Monday morning. So you can listen to it right now, however you want. And then for free, you can listen to it on an audio streaming platform a couple of days after I record it. So that'll be it. Thank y'all for being here. Shout out to the moderators for doing a great job tonight, getting them trolls out, getting them weirdo people that post comments that look kind of real but are not real. We got Omar Adams, we got Shreves, we got T-Pain, of course, the boss. We got Bill from the Hills, we got Liza Jean, we got Zealand Zen, we got Shreves, we got everybody in here tonight holding it down, making sure that the chat is nice and tight. But that'll be a wrap. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.